Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Jeff Has Cool Friends Anniversary Spectacular Extravaganza, whatever I'm calling these things. We have been going at it for quite some time, but I am having a hard time stopping because I am getting so many incredible people that are either meeting for the first time or just showing up and hanging out. And I am so in love with this episode. I have three banging segments coming your way. First and foremost, from episodes 32 and 41, respectively, the incredible Tara, Nicole, Whitaker, and Afua Richardson, with the following segment being from episode 1, Chris Uminga, and episode 16, Joseph Michael Dragunas, who you might know as at Joseph Michael Art on the Instagram. And finally, from episodes 18 and 78, Aaron LaPlante and Rocom. This is an all-artist episode, which I'm very excited about. So please enjoy these three segments. Follow and support these people as much as you can because they talk about some really incredible stuff that I'm so excited to be able to share with you. So without further ado, enjoy the episode. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode and segment of the Jeff Has Cool Friends 100th anniversary-ish, 4-year-ish anniversary-ish spectacular extravaganza bonanza. I am joined by two of the most talented people I know, and I am actually one of the dumbest boys in the world, and I'll explain to you why in a quick second. From episode 32, I have the brilliant artist, animator, and storyteller, Tara Nicole Whitaker. Hi, Tara. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I'm doing really good. And from a scant 9 episodes later, one of, again, the most talented writers, artists, storytellers that I know, Afua Richardson. Afua, how are you?
I am so glad to be here. It's good to see your face and hear your voice.
This is it. This is the face. I don't get to hear it's good to hear your voice and see your face a lot. So that filled me up. I'm going to explain why I'm very dumb. I have two of the most talented artists that I know that are doing a very similar thing, uniquely and beautifully different. I mean, for God's sakes, like even the mermaid thing is like and like, so, you know, appealing and to you know, being open demographics and doing things and building up for like young Black girls and artists and things like that. And yet it took me until now to be like, oh my God, Tara and Afua should know each other. And so I'm stupid. And I think that's fair, right? Agree? All right, we're there.
So cruel to yourself. So cruel. Well, you know, being an artist is a very introspective and introvert kind of career. So we spend most of our time indoors in front of a desk, and we love and appreciate and admire other people who are doing the same things, but gosh, we don't really often see them.
So
it's
Absolutely agreed. Agreed. And you know, I've been a longtime fan. Actually, I've been following your artwork online for at least, I don't know, a year, a couple years. But yeah, so it's just amazing to be able to chat with you. You know, I look up to you and I think your work is gorgeous and inspirational. So, you know,
so
when Jeff said he knew you, I was like, what? Well, of course he does, because he knows the coolest, most awesome, you know, people out there and artists out there. So yeah, I was just like super psyched when he was like, we should all talk. I was like, heck yeah.
yay.
it is definitely one of those things where while I don't necessarily prize myself on being an uninteresting man, I definitely surround myself with interesting people. And that I will prize myself on. I know good people, and that makes me feel good. Like that, honestly, like knowing and cultivating and not keeping, you know, like some people keep kind of poisonous people around for whatever reason. I don't really do that. So I'm very lucky to have the people here. But so I really just wanted to check in, see what you're doing. I love that you were fans of each other's work. One of my favorite things. So Tara, because you were that first guest in the group, I'd like to know what you have been up to since you've been, we had that, the Proud Family was back, right? So how'd that
Yep,
go?
Proud Family's back. I actually did not work on seasons 3 and 4. I was a director, series director on seasons 1 and 2. But since Proud Family, I've been doing some other things. I designed the lead characters for Disney Junior's Ariel, which was super, super fun. So, longtime mermaid fan, obviously. So getting the chance
Yay!
to help design those characters was like dream come true. I mean, I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but my dad took me to see the '89 film back in theaters when I was a little kid, and it made such an impression on me that really inspired me to go into animation in the first place. So to be able to get to design, Ariel and friends and family for this next generation of young kids, it was and adults, it was just,
Let's
it
be
was so
honest here.
meaningful to me. I know, let's be honest. Everybody, who
Yes.
doesn't love Ariel, right? Ariel
Right.
is for everyone. I think that's the wonderful thing about her character is like she appeals to so many people, her passion and dedication and her love for exploration and different cultures and I think that's something that we can all really admire about her character. But yeah, so I worked on that, and I'm also currently co-directing on feature film called Pierre the Pigeon Hawk with EPs Will.I.Am, Jennifer Hudson, and Snoop. So that's been
Oh,
super, super
wow.
exciting. Yeah,
Huge.
that's what I've been that's what I've been working on most recently. Yeah.
Now, do you interact with those people at all, or are they EPs where they're like they'll funnel in and take care of things on the outside, but they're not necessarily too interactive with the creatives? Like, I don't know how does something work like that? Because clearly that is an
Um,
incredible talent roster to have as EPs.
yes, we're super excited to have them on board, and they're just huge, huge, huge talents, obviously. But yeah, I'm kind of on the art side, so I work at home in my home office and drawing and working directly with the art team and board artists and art director, and yeah, so I kind of focus on that part of things and just trying to make the best film we can. I think it's going to be really beautiful and full of it's a hopeful film, which I love. The characters are all hopeful and really trying to create a better world for all of the other characters.
We
So
sure could
I don't
use
I don't want to
that.
give away too much.
No,
Yeah, I know,
no, we don't want.
absolutely too much.
Spoilers.
We
I
should we should
think
I know we should chat again about it next year in
I
2026.
I don't think you're spoiling any plot points
Okay.
when
Okay.
you're
Cool. Cool.
saying
Cool.
like our animated movie is gonna have some hope involved in it.
Yeah.
I think
Hmm.
you're very safe. No NDAs breached.
Okay. For sure.
Well, it is really scary when you work in the entertainment world and like
Hmm.
you're talking about a project and you're like, how do I make this so I don't
Right.
accidentally put me in a position where I could get sued? Um,
Right.
which
Hashtag no spoilers.
yeah,
Right?
right.
Yeah.
I will say after I won on that game show, I had to sit on that for 6 months.
Mm.
And like it's like, no, things will be different soon. I can't say why. And then you're like, wait, was that a movie? I love that. I love the Ariel thing is really great because I think we can all also one of the reasons I think Ariel is such an appealing character, um, and I don't think it has as much to do with the aesthetics of the original thing. It's that we've all been headstrong, dumb teenagers, right? I mean, it really is.
Unfortunately.
It's Romeo and Juliet, right? Like, and Romeo and Juliet's just a much harsher way to make fun of young, dumb teenagers. But with Ariel, they found a way to make it where you're doing that Juliet style kind of like impulsive, naive teenage girl, but it doesn't have to be a girl, right? It's like we all were that, right? Like
Hmm.
show me
Yeah.
a teenager that stayed between the lines. I'll show you just a boring teenager, right?
Right.
And doing that and subverting it to the point where not everything she did was right, but her intention and results ended up paying off. And I think that
Hmm.
is such a great reminder that
Oh
not
yeah,
all
absolutely.
storytelling is binary of it's a good story or it's a bad story. It's like, no, there's a lot of gray in that movie, and I
Hmm.
really like that.
Oh yeah, she was definitely and is, I think, driven by her heart and what she thinks is right. And, her obsession and curiosity about the human world drives, a lot of her decisions as well. It's like a place to explore, full of adventure, exciting, not like the any world that she's ever been. So it's a place she wants to explore. And I think every choice she makes comes from that and trying to help people and save people. And yeah, so I think she's an aspirational character for sure.
I love that.
And
Afua.
then to jump on to that conversation, I will talk about the aesthetics for a second because I loved her design. Okay, I know this is supposed to be for little kids, but like just the representation of the character's hair, their skin tones, just their expressions. And then it's not just anchored into, oh, okay, these are characters that are Black and they're just for Black people. It felt universal. Right. It was fresh. It was welcoming. And it's just a reflection of your work too. Your work is warm, inviting. You feel the emotion that is conveyed when you look at the characters. So that being translated over into Ariel, which is a character that has now been revamped, but your design or your contribution to the design really kind of brought it home. There's no offense to the film, but I felt like it was a rehash of what was there. This was new, and this felt new, and it felt like a reintroduction of a character, but for a new generation, and I loved it. So I'm just giving you your flowers.
Thank you. Well, all credit also to the team and art director and showrunner. Yeah. Absolutely, they really every choice they made was coming from a place of intention and cultural representation and accuracy, and we did so much research, and really every choice we made was with intent and with lots of love. So yeah,
I always find that very interesting as well, that there is that sort of, and you see it because the internet is a cesspool of it's what a melting pot of different personality. You think America's a melting pot? Well, boy, the internet is a magnifying glass of what that is, right? And so you see this idea of like, well, the most important thing that we're going to do is tell good stories and make this entertaining and allow creatives to continue working by making something that more people are going to want to watch. And at the same time, you balance that like representation is important. And it's not one of those things where like, the first Black Disney princess was Tiana. And what's that? 80 years in? Like that's a little weird, right? So like making sure that you're like, yeah, we can tell good stories while having representation, but without going to the point where you're like, well, the goal is representation. It's like, no, that's the benefit of it. The goal is to tell good stories and go through there. And that balance is perfectly done. And again, applause to the entire creative team behind that show, because that is a brilliant way to go about it. So good on you.
Yeah.
Afua, what you been up to? I mean, it's been a little bit of a while. I mean, if it's a bi-weekly show and you were on episode 41, that means it's been a little while. So what's been going on with you?
I'm trying to think of what I've been working on. I mean, tons of covers. I feel like I do so much work that I just do it and then I'm on to the next thing. I worked on Kahori, which was Marvel's What If character spinoff. They created a series or an episode of What If that was entirely in Mohawk from the Wolf Clan. And it was awesome to work on the comic book that was a spin-off of that character. But besides that, I have, I was asked to work on a bunch of different things. One I can now actually talk about since I ended up getting sick and they had to move on. But Megan Thee Stallion is making an anime. And I was doing the character designs for that, but I discovered that I had some tumors. Thankfully, the doctors found them. It took a really long time to recover. So now I'm getting back into feeling more like myself. And so I'll be going to Dragon Con, which is my first show after being under the knife. But after being asked to be a part of so many different projects, I kind of just felt like anytime I made momentum on my own book, I had to take a step back and be asked to give my creative energy to something else. So I'm really focused now on Aquarius, the Book of Mer, which is my modern retelling of mermaid myths and legends from all over the world. And the challenge for me was execution. Do I tell the stories exactly the way they are, or do I utilize that in a different narrative? So I've found a way to do both. And
Really?
so yes, I'm excited. So when I have more things to show you, I'll share them with you. There's music, there's a lot of live performance and voice acting and all kinds of things. So basically everything that I can do, I'm throwing it at this and seeing what sticks.
I wonder if, and obviously you can answer this way more, but I recently had a friend of mine had actually a medical malpractice issue and
Oh no.
yes, big, like where like a stent was left in the aorta. And essentially it's very like Iron Man, you've got shrapnel in your heart and at
It's
any time
terrible.
this could do something. And so it's one of those, and then where he's just like, okay, now I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my
Yeah.
legacy. And,
Yeah.
you know, I hosted a panel for JG Jones, who had a rare blood cancer. And then after
Yeah.
that, he came out of it and said, from now on, I'm still going to pay the bills, but I'm doing my stuff.
That's
Was
right.
because you said you were putting your energy into other people's plans and goals, and your project was the side quest.
It was
What's
every time I announced it, I felt like, all right, here's an offer that you can't refuse. But I'm like, well, is I love working on the projects that I get to work on, from Black Panther to Batman to Superman. These are things that I love and I have loved since before I knew that they weren't real. And so it's an honor to work on these and to just be the triangle in the orchestra of this, this tapestry. But I feel like that represents me, my voice, my creative input, my philosophy, and I have other things to say. So I want to utilize this book as the other things that I have to say.
Did the medical incursion cause that hyper focus, or is that more of a coincidence?
I think it was something that I wanted to hyper focus on, but because I had this condition, it made it impossible to focus. Yeah. I felt like I couldn't see in my imagination. I had so many aches and pains that just physically drawing was painful, but I was still getting up and still going to shows. And then by the end of convention day, I was like, please, I have to do this again tomorrow. But then I'd get up and go and do it again anyway. I'd like go to the gym, not knowing that I was actually making my condition worse.
Really? So that was making it worse too, yeah?
It was making it worse, yeah, because of the location of the tumors. I was just feeding them. I was just like, oh, I've got alien mutants hanging out in my body, and here I am doing things that I think are helping, and I was making it worse. So thankfully, I went from doctor to doctor, and they kind of dismissed me. And I went to one doctor. I was like, hi, I would like to be treated for this, or just tested for these things. And they found something, unfortunately. But we targeted it, got it removed, and everything looks great. So it's nice to be, I feel like I have my mind again. I felt like I would come up with an idea and I couldn't follow through to conclusion because my body was fighting against me. So it's nice to just not only feel like myself, but feel like things are possible and I don't have to, fight against whatever's happening with me.
I love that. And I love that you are in the position to feel like yourself, because I think, and one of the things about the two of you is that you are unapologetically yourselves, and that's what makes you so successful. And so I really, really love that. So obviously now we're looking in here and we have talented Black women, artists, illustrators that are doing mermaid things. So again, I cannot stress how stupid I am that I couldn't connect those. Now, I want to build away from just the mermaid stuff to ask you guys what, and this is something that I was thinking about, what do creatives such as yourselves consume as entertainment? And that's actually something that I'm really interested in knowing. And Tara, I'd love for you to answer, what are you, if at all, if I don't know how much time you have to actually consume entertainment, pop culture, etc., when you're so busy creating it. But what are you doing for entertainment these days?
Um, I think my tastes have not changed that much since childhood, probably. So I'm still watching superhero stuff. I'm still watching, I just watched Superman. That was fantastic, of
Oh,
course. I really
so
love
good.
that.
It's fun.
Yeah, so a lot of fantasy, superhero stuff. I do love, classic, I guess, classic films like yeah, I don't know, any classic 80s films I grew up on. So like your Jaws, all that kind of stuff, Back to the Future, all of those things, I think, because I
So
am an 80s baby.
that's still
Yeah, so that's
like
still a
so.
big part of me. Like Goonies, like still is probably one of my favorite films, and
Oh,
would love to be a part of a project someday where it's like, kids going on an adventure and the adults don't know what's going on or they're clueless. And yeah,
I have.
I kind of, what do you think?
It's very interesting. I actually one of my friends who I've been trying to get onto this show used to
Mhm.
be a screenwriter, and
Yeah.
he wrote a Goonies for Ice Cube, essentially, that took place in
Ah,
South Central LA. And it was like young kids in South Central LA going on a similar sort of
that's
storyline.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
and it ended up obviously like most things not getting made, but it did get
Mm,
sold and the whole process before
right.
crashing it all down. So like if I were to say like the last five things you watched, you'd be like, well, Superman I just watched, and then it was
Yeah.
probably like some classic comfort stuff that you grew up on, or
Yeah, I think one of the last things I watched that I really loved was Skeleton Crew. That kind of hit a lot
oh
of
yeah,
marks for
Star Wars.
me. Yeah, Star Wars plus like kid adventure,
Very Amblin
it's like a comfort.
entertainment, yeah.
Yeah, it's a comfort watch, like the kids are hopefully or gonna live, but it's fun to watch them go on these little adventures that right.
Yeah.
These adventures that I would love to go on. I would have loved to go on as a kid. I would love to go on now. But yeah.
I love when they start because they did that with Star Trek Prodigy as well,
Hmm.
where they, and shout out to Jennifer Muro, who was on the last episode and is a writer for
Hmm.
Star Trek Prodigy, where take this thing that now, to be fair, Star Wars is a kids movie, like even the original ones. I know that but they're family movies, and one of the glories of being an adult is enjoying things
Hmm.
that kids like.
Yes.
That's what nerddom is, right? But like with Skeleton Crew and things like Prodigy, I do like that they're like, all right, well, it's now become this more adult world, but not everything has to
Hmm.
be Andor, even though
Right.
Andor
Mm,
is insanely
Phenomenal.
good. We
Hmm.
don't need
yeah.
everything to be Breaking Bad. And
Right.
I genuinely love that. So I love that Skeleton Crew was one of the things that you
Hmm.
cited. I genuinely love that.
Yeah. So
Afua,
great.
what about the last couple of things? What have you been consuming?
Oh my. I just caught season 2 of Wednesday.
Ooh.
Um, I've been watching Dan to Dan, which is a very unusual
Okay,
anime.
yeah, what is that? Because I have been hearing a lot about that. What's Dan to Dan?
Okay, gosh, it's so hard to describe. Basically, these two students at a school interact with each other. There's a gal who breaks up with her boyfriend and she's feeling really down, and she's walking through the halls and she notices this kid getting picked on, and she feels really bad for him, so she stands up for him, and he's never really had a friend before, and so he kind of latches onto her almost in an unhealthy way, and says, "Oh, well, I know why you wanted to talk to me," because he can't quite fathom why someone would even want to have a conversation with him. He's like, "I know why you want to talk to me. It's because you believe in UFOs." And so he takes out this conspiracy magazine and starts showing her all of these things. And she's like, "Yeah, no, that's really not it." But she believes in the supernatural. So they dare each other. Like, she dares him to go to a place where there's supernatural power, supposedly, and he dares her to go to a place where people are notoriously abducted by UFOs, and you have to see what
I
happens
I'm
because I
now
can't
going to have
spoil it.
to.
It's so strange, and it's not a kids show, but it's very goofy and wild. And really wonderfully animated, like the stretching and the sort of foreshortening and just the design of a lot of these characters, even some of the lore. I think that's what appeals to me most about this show, is that they dig into a lot of Japanese lore and pull it into a modern context. So it's strange, but it's entertaining.
Animation is doing really great. Like, genuinely speaking, from a cultural standpoint. And, you know, it's hard. Like, I grew up on mostly Western animation, but you cannot deny the impact that anime has had on pop culture, obviously. But like, when you look at, in what you're saying, where it's like this, it's weird and it's unique and the animation flows weirdly. And like, you look at things like Spider-Verse and, you know, you can even look at things like Smiling Friends, which is a much more sort of like simplistic, but deep kind of more, like, I genuinely am enjoying where animation is right now and where it's growing. So I love that. So Dan to Dan, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Dan to Dan. It's on Netflix.
I've got to watch K-pop Demon Hunters. That's something
it was
that I
so
have.
good.
Yes.
Okay.
That was
Great
amazing.
movie.
All right. My trainer was telling me how that he watched it with his daughter for the 7th time this weekend.
The music is fantastic. The animation's great. The character development, all of it. It's really fast paced. It's well done. Sony knocked it out of the park for that one.
Yeah.
Beautiful film and great music, obviously.
Yeah, right. I was I'm
full of
dancing to
bops.
this, right?
One of my friends, his wife, who's like a woman in her 40s, just loves K-pop. And she's just like, I love these beautiful boys singing this great music. She's like, I'm not a weird creep about it. The music is really fun. And I guess like the culture of the fandoms is very supportive and not negative. I mean, the culture of building the bands is a little dark, but it's a little
there's always been
conveyor
some
belt
weirdness in the music industry.
Weird, right? Yeah, because you were in the music industry as well, right?
I was, and just with all of the weirdness, that's why I switched to comics.
Much less problematic.
By comparison. But I was in high school when I was an extra on MTV Jams, if I'm dating myself right now.
Dr. Dre and Ed Lover?
Bill Bellamy, Ananda Lewis, and Carson Daly were the hosts. And so I was a dancer.
Wow.
And I was there when Destiny's Child made their first performance, and I was uncomfortable for them. I was like, who dressed these children? Why am I seeing their butts? Like, it was just like, so...
Their mom did.
Yeah, and then I saw their mom, and I was like, oh, okay.
Seems like the
not my children, not my monkeys, not my circus. Okay, cool.
Seems like the gamble's going to pay off on that one.
Right. And then, like, you know, I was in the studio when Rihanna was cutting her first album, and I was just like, oh my God, she's gorgeous and she will be fantastic at whatever she does. I mean, I just had the opportunity to be around all of these different musical powerhouses. And I won't say the names because the industry is way, way, way too small. But I went into the head of one of the largest music distribution companies in the world and spoke with their CEO, and then spoke with an A&R. And an A&R is like artist and representation. And basically it always ends up sounding like a negative thing, and it definitely can be, but they are kind of the gatekeepers for music. They send talent scouts out, they listen to them perform, they listen to their demos, and they figure out what pocket they can fit in, whether or not they can put them on tour. Right. They don't really do artist development anymore. So this was just kind of at the end of that era. They basically just say, hey, you can sell records. They'll give you a wardrobe and a budget, and they'll put you out there. So this particular A&R listened to my music and was just like, oh, you're one of those people who like real music. I was like, what? What does that mean? And they're like, you like instruments, like live instruments and stacked vocals and vocal arrangements with air quotes. And I was like, yes, air quotes. And they're like, I bet you like Prince and Stevie Wonder and stuff like that. And I was like, why are you saying this like it's a
You should be
negative
like,
thing?
do you
Don't
not
you?
like Prince and Stevie Wonder?
Right? You know, like, don't you like Bjork and
Yeah.
you
I
know,
bet you enjoy
Stone
the
Temple
musical
Pilots?
stylings of the Beatles. Like,
You know?
I thought everyone did.
And so, you know, they were basically kind of like slicing me down. Like, okay, well, you can lose about 40, 50 pounds. We'll pair you with a rapper. Let's see if you can write a hit. But all of this stuff that you kind of do, all of this sort of experimental kind of modern soul, because neo soul wasn't a thing then. You know, that's not really gonna work out. You know what? Here's an artist. I think you'd really like him. He played an album, and it was amazing. He played all the instruments, wrote all of the music, produced it himself, and he basically didn't need a label. He just needed a push. And so he said, well, he's competing with some of our existing artists, and one of those artists happened to be R. Kelly. And he says, this is what we do. We sign him and we do this. And he took his album and he put it back on the shelf. And so he was wrapped up in contracts for 10 years, and they purposefully sunk his album so he wouldn't compete with their existing artists. And after I saw that, I was just like, I need to do something else.
This is evil.
I just decided, I was like, I just need to do something else. And so I was a background singer for a while, and I went on tour, and I was a session vocalist and did, you know, I still utilized my craft for a while, but I started going to comic conventions, and I started just talking to artists and talking to writers and asking them, like, well, what kind of business is this? Like, do any of you guys have to lose 50 pounds?
And they're like, the weight issue's not a problem, but there are still a plethora of perverts.
Yeah, there's still a lot. But I was like, wait, I can just draw what I like and get paid for it.
They're like, there's a lot of yada yada between those, but yeah.
But in my mind, I was like, you know, I was like, wait, I don't have to have a manager to speak to an A&R, to speak to Sylvia Rowan, the head of Sony Entertainment, to do this, to do this, to do this. I can just have good work, and if someone's willing to give me a chance, I can.
It's
all right.
I mean, it's certainly the comics industry is certainly gatekeepy, but it's
Sure.
nothing like the machine that is the music industry, for sure. I honestly feel like I could do a 3-hour segment with you guys, but then this will be $1,000 to edit. And I can't afford it because I do just want to, I want to just sit down in a coffee shop and just hang out with you guys. Like you're both so incredibly talented and insightful, but I do have to wind this down. So Tara, I want to know, like, where can we push people to enjoy your work? I mean, are we on Disney Plus? Are we on satellite Disney as well? Or like, how do we find your work? Aside from
right
Tara
now,
Nicole Whitaker on Instagram, that's TaraNicoleWhitaker. Where else can we? What else?
Thank you. Yeah, I was actually going to say mostly Instagram right now. I do have some books for sale. Shady Baby, my little golden book about Misty Copeland, of course, my little golden book, Little Mermaid, and The Princess and the Frog little golden book are all available for sale wherever books are sold. Shop mom and pop bookshops if you can. But yeah, mostly just in production right now on the film. So some good stuff to look forward to for 2026.
Oh, very excited to do that. And one of the things I noticed too is that with the Golden Books thing, I was like, I wonder if you, and then the first person that showed was following you was Penelope Gaylord, who also does a lot of the Golden Books and the young adult art, and just an incredible power couple of art, her and Jerry. And I saw that and I was just like, of course. Of course. But definitely check those out and stay tuned. And you got a lot of really great projects coming, and I'm really excited for you because you do deserve all of that success. So I'm super into that. Afua at Afua Richardson, AFUARICHARDSON. What do we do?
Well, you can go to afuarichardson.com, and I have art and originals for sale. I will be at 4 shows this year: Dragon Con, NC Comic Con, Baltimore Comic Con, and IACon, which is an indigenous comic convention in Denver, Colorado this year. So.
An indigenous Comic Con in Denver, Colorado.
Yes. So I'm excited. I'm going to be a part of their indigenous fashion show. So I am super stoked. It should be a fun time.
When's that going to be?
That will be.
Oh, no, I made you work.
I
That's
know.
not fair. While she's looking that up,
It's
you can on Instagram. She has Afua_Richardson. That's AFUA_RICHARDSON, and you definitely want to give her a follow because what incredible work!
That will be October 3rd of this year.
October the 3rd in
Yes.
Denver, Colorado. So
yes,
you guys want to check that out, ladies. Thank you so much for spending time with me today and enjoying this. You are two of my absolute coolest friends, and it means the world to me that you took time out of your very busy schedules. And I know how busy your schedules are to show up and check in with the fans and myself and let us know. So any last thoughts?
Stay cool, Jeff. You're just the coolest. And Terry, you're so cool.
Oh, you're so cool. You're both so cool, and I'm so grateful and happy to be able to call you both friends now.
Mostly I'm cool. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are great. We'll see you on the next segment. Ladies, say goodbye to the listeners.
Goodbye to the listeners.
Hi, listeners. We'll see you at the next one. What good is a Jeff Has Cool segment or episode without shouting out the people who make this show accessible? Now, if you're listening to this on Patreon, that means that you got early access to uncensored episodes with bonus content. Congratulations. Also, you can produce this show, and I will say pretty much anything you say. So we're going to add a big shout out to the following producers. So a big thank you goes to the following people. Big thank you to the enchanted, wandering, unpierced left nipple. That only goes up to 11. Cider served at room temperature with just a pinch of cinnamon. Who gave me some Shack XL gummies? The actual candy, not the drugs. And that's really nice. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to Funky J Mostly comes out at night. Mostly. A big shout out to Watch Me use these prehensile nipples to pick up pennies off the floor. And of course, a big shout out to the Oatmeal Savage. Thank you to Call Me Sean or whatever. Hey, I'm going to start calling Yoda Old Grogu just to see what happens. A big shout out to Sweet Keel. Big shout out to that scene in Lost City where Brad Pitt dies. A big shout out to Aldo Vargas is adding Jeff Has Cool Friends producer to his resume. Do it. A big shout out to Burrito, my best friend. Hey, The Treatment, a podcast about stories with Billy Beck, Cody Beck, and Mark Lucas. Check that out. Great way to use your money. Speaking of great ways to use your producer money, a big shout out to At Ravages of the Scourge. That's RAVAGESOFTHESCOURGE for your fantasy-themed death metal and deathcore needs. A big thank you to Lemming Malloy, David Knifeboot Hinson, Porcelain Jesus, Bobby Opulent, Norm from Cheers, Dan Hackroyd, BlackTulipMassage.com. Ooh, I got to get back to Central Massachusetts so I can re-up on my massage because she is incredible. A big shout out to those paleontologists are up to skullduggery. I'm loving these puns, by the way. And finally, last one coming in hot with check out this month's Nerd with Dre and Jeff, where we are covering Logan's Run as we finish up our season on Speed. We're talking about Logan's Run. He's running. And we are joined by the amazing Logan Trent, who has been on one of these episodes as well. So thank you very much. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. Folks, I have a banger of a segment lined up for you. I am bringing to you two incredible artists. Spoiler alert, this is the art episode that are joining me from previous episodes of Jeff Has Cool Friends for the Jeff Has Cool Friends 4th-ish anniversary, 100th-ish episode-ish, anniversary-ish, bonanza spectacular, bonanza-ish. Here we go with episode 1, The Phantom Artist. No, he's not a phantom. He's Chris Uminga. Yay, he was my first guest on the show. And the last mystery guest on the previous incarnation of the show that may or may not have kind of gotten me fired, but that's fine. Not him.
Yay!
And of course, episode 16, Joseph Michael Dragunas.
Episode 666.
666, the number of the I don't know why I did that. Joe and Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I saw you a couple weeks ago. Joe, I haven't seen
Yes,
you.
sir.
Chris's wedding.
Wedding. What was it a couple
Hold
weeks
on, let me
ago?
read my notes. Wedding.
Was that San Diego?
Yeah.
Yes.
You were
Yeah,
I heard
tired.
that show was packed.
Dude, it was banging. It was a banger.
You know what was great about Comic-Con? And I actually talked about this on the podcast. It was a return to form because movies and TV weren't the main attractions anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that put more money into the hands of independent artists.
Yeah, that's why I stopped going, because it cost so much damn money, and you made it back, but like it wasn't worth 2 weeks of your life.
Yeah, I make it back every year.
Or 3.
Oh, you made it back.
Me making it back.
Yeah. No,
I give my monthly stipend to you. You get paid no matter what.
I do. And that's how I'm living high on the hog. I can't even afford sleeves or pants. I'm clearly recording this pantsless and sleeveless.
It's like
I don't know
Winnie
if
the
people
Pooh.
know, but if it's a summer episode if there's a summer episode of any podcast I'm on, spoiler alert, I'm pantsless. That's a little bit of Jeff lore.
That's also how you show up in public most times too.
Yes.
Donald Duck.
I'm Donald Ducking it. Porky Pigging it. You can Winnie the Poohin'.
That's right.
You know?
I
I was going to say, is there an opposite version of that where you just wear, I guess Mickey Mouseing, right? When he would wear just little pants.
Oh yeah, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, but there's got to be like
but he has
cartoon
gloves on.
characters, or he's got gloves.
Same.
That's
Yeah.
right. If somebody comes at you with only pants and gloves on,
Oh,
That's
you're
called
getting
boxing.
murdered.
That's called boxing. That's a sport I
Ooh.
do all the time.
touche. Pants though, but they're wearing shorts.
No, we all wear slacks.
Khakis.
Yeah, it's formal boxing.
Dude, I'd watch that.
Formal boxing sounds like a pretty legit
Tuxedo
idea.
boxing.
Just
Kind of,
tuxedo
yeah.
boxing, exactly.
And like you have to keep, like you get graded on how clean your white shirt is.
How
or just the overall, like
Yeah.
if you come out and like have a tailor judge you at the end to see how well you did guarding.
God,
does
I
your,
hate that
does
that's
your
a good
tux
idea.
have tails?
Oh, right. My
Cummerbund?
cummerbund stays on or comes off. Like that's a point deduction.
And then you could have, and then the high level one is when you have like those Victorian like
collar.
that
frills.
high collar.
I'm fighting like Queen Elizabeth. Like
Yeah,
a
but-
peacock.
Exactly.
The doily sleeves coming out of your jacket.
Yes.
Just got lead paint on my face. I'm
This
caked
is-
on lead makeup.
Just like Justin Trudeau.
If you're ever on camera, you're most likely you either look sick or you're wearing makeup. Spoiler alert.
hmm
Which is why I look so sick right now.
Are you wearing?
In a good way.
You put on makeup to look sick. That
Yeah.
way, it's like I'm not wearing makeup.
I put on it's Halloween season. I'm put on zombie makeup.
You
Spirit
look too good
Halloween.
otherwise.
Chris,
Yeah, buddy.
what have you been up to since 4 years ago? Episode 1
Pandemic. I got married.
brought the pandemic up first. That was
So I mean, it's a big deal. No, I got married, which is awesome. That you guys both showed up. Joe was a big part of it.
and I was a medium part of it.
No, you were the first person I saw when I walked in to the reception.
Because I'm tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kyle was there. Is he taller than you?
Oh, he's just taller than Kyle.
Yeah, I'm taller than
Okay.
we were neighbors. Your friend Kyle, our friend Kyle, really.
Our friend Kyle. We all love Kyle.
He lived on
Kyle's
my
awesome.
street. He lived on my block for a little while, but that's a little too inside baseball. Chris, you got married, and that was
Got
fun.
married.
And
was awesome.
it was in Connecticut, which
That was a very fun wedding too.
oh, the wedding was great. I stayed in the wrong hotel, and almost got into a fist fight with 3 Russian 20-somethings who were having a party outside of my room.
I know this is Chris's segment right now, but you have to elaborate on that.
Yeah.
It's hell.
I
Well, you
stayed at
stayed
the
at-
wrong, the
He stayed
hotel
at
you
the
guys, the motel you guys told us not to stay at.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to drive home after the wedding because it was only like 45 minutes from my house, from my mom's house. And then I was like, what if I just stayed and had fun and stayed in a cheesy motel? And that was a huge mistake.
You have made a huge mistake, sir.
I make a huge mistake. But
No.
I wanted to see Chris and his wife. But there were just so many people that I feel were very important to me, and Chris was there too. And so I just wanted to get as much time as possible. And it was a little snowy. And I was like, I'd rather not be super tired and groggy in a weather condition I haven't driven in years.
Yeah.
What if I just stayed overnight? And then I'm at like 4 a.m. I'm like vibrating with angry energy. And I'm like, this was a huge mistake.
You stayed
So
at
what
the,
were they doing? They're
Partying.
trying to take your liver?
Partying, dude. They were partying. And I went to the front office. I was like, hey, do you ever do your job? I was like, what?
Yeah, you stayed at the high school motel where you used to go and hang out and drink and
Yeah.
What was the name of the hotel?
dude, it's called the Branford Motel.
No, I stayed at there was like a chain motel. That was
Oh, was it the Clarion?
yeah, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Motel 6.
It was the one in your invitation and like whatever that was like, just don't stay here.
That's right.
Don't stay at the hotel next to the bank that clearly used to be a Friendly's.
That's great. Wedding invitations that
you
come with
stayed
warnings.
there. Yeah, you stayed there. Ooh.
Yeah, you weren't. But you got married. That's cool.
Got married. Just been plugging along with work, trying to do as much as possible.
Thank God you weren't. You've just been plugging along with this marriage thing, trying to make it work. Like, wait, you're really like still kind of newlyweds here.
Somebody take my wife, please.
Oh, hey.
Take my beautiful, talented wife. Hey.
God, I think we all just aged ourselves.
I age rapidly anyway. It's totally fine. But yeah, so you're still doing the con circuit. That's fun.
Doing the con circuit, doing a lot more gallery stuff. I just finished another round of art for Disney.
For Wonderground.
Yeah, for Wonderground, and then for Festival of the Arts. So I'm not sure when this will come out, but Farts.
When's that going to be?
January 2026.
Do you think that this is?
It runs for like a month, doesn't
Do you
it?
think that I'm going to sit on this episode for 5 months?
Oh, no.
Or do you think I'm going to drop it the day after we record?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which one of these things do you think is more Jeff?
I'm hoping you sit on it for 6 months.
All right, editor, cut that out. We'll put it. No. The editor just looks. He just looks at me. He's like,
and I'm
The editor's just a
I'm
puppet
doing
in the
some
corner.
writing.
it's super producer Sam. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Did I hear you say that you were doing some writing?
Yeah. doing
Yeah,
some
what are you
writing.
writing?
What are you writing?
A lot of your ideas you told me in the past are
Yeah.
killer.
Letters?
So, like, no, well, of course. I wish I see. That's one thing I miss. I miss writing letters to people.
I want to write handwritten letters to friends. That's the coolest thing.
Joe,
I write note cards to
we could be pen pals.
right.
It's like and like practice cursive and everything. Do little doodles on them. Like it's just such a fun idea.
The patrons that get the cards in the mail from me every month, they get handwritten cards.
Yeah, but yours are just poo pee pee.
Yeah, but they love that. It's
No,
my brand.
that's true. That's
You know, it's like, dear, you know, it's dear Matt, poop, poop, pee, pee, poop. Thanks for the support. Hashtag Jeff May. And they're like, nobody does hashtags anymore.
Do they? No.
I don't know.
So I don't even know
if
anymore.
my gift card. I don't know if my greeting cards are hitting the algorithm the way one would.
I was told not to do them, and then I was told to do them, and then I just like I don't care.
What if it all doesn't
I'm
matter?
not doing anything.
It
None of
doesn't.
it matters. This
What if
Nope.
in the run of us trying to get seen constantly and working our asses off, we do our best not to lose ourselves?
It'd be nice.
See, that's
Chasing.
that's the secret I found out is to just not care.
Yeah.
Is to just people will see you when they do, if they do, if not, as long as you're smiling. The end.
Well, no thanks. But Chris, you said you're writing. What's the goal with writing? Are we talking screenplay? Comic book?
No. Comic.
Okay.
So it's for. I did a pitch for one of the big two. They liked it.
Damn.
Ooh.
It's just a
Big
waiting game.
two.
Is it
Dark
somebody
Horse
you've
and
always-
Malibu?
It's Burger
No,
King and
it's,
McDonald's.
Oh, okay.
Titan Comics
And Red
No.
Dawn.
Titan Comics and Penthouse Comics.
Oh, I
Oh,
wish.
you're gonna do.
Imagine the nonsense I could come up with for
Yeah.
Penthouse.
I'm writing something.
Literally anything.
I'm writing something for Verotic comic.
Yeah. What was Stan Lee had one for a while when he was doing barbed wire.
You mean? Oh,
Yeah.
no, he wasn't doing barbed wire. He was doing stripperella.
Stripperella,
Yeah.
that was the
Wait,
one.
Barbed
he
wire
had,
was Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Wait, he had like a comic imprint or
Did he have, like,
pen
No,
Like-
it wasn't Nippert. He was just writing essentially rated R erotic stuff. But yeah, it was Stripperella. And then I
Hey.
thought there was a comic crossover.
I'm actually a pervert.
Hey, true believers, look at my wang.
Dude, all I know is I played fantasy football a few years ago,
With
and I
Stanley.
named my team Vic Vagina. Chrissy just he literally goes Chris, and I came in last.
A well-deserved place. Did you get? Was it like one of those torture punishment leagues
What do you
where
mean?
like you have to do something?
What's that mean?
No, just
Oh,
pay
last
in.
place has
it
to
was-
like
it was
shave their
nice.
head or like get a mohawk.
No, but I clearly
Huh.
did not know what I was doing because I drafted like defense with my third pick, and everyone laughed at me.
You should have asked me, Chris. I would have stocked it up with all the good players,
All
like
the Cleveland Marauders.
all the
Yeah.
Tom Fish, and
I draft Barry Sanders. So I've got huge news for you, Joe.
that's a real name. I've heard of that
Joe
name.
Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe Montana's good.
With my first pick, O.J. Simpson.
And O.J. Simpson and Joe DiMaggio. I was like, there's a guy in a song.
Yeah, there you go. From Simon, he's a Simon and Garfunkel character. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know if Joe knows this little about sports or if he does it because it makes me laugh so much.
I know that little about it, but the only reason I bring it up sometimes is because it makes you laugh so much.
See that?
Do you know what
Like
sport Joe DiMaggio played?
No, I have no idea.
I love you so much.
I'm assuming it's like Joe Montana, because like Joe Montana had those old commercials with like Tough Actin' Tinactin and stuff
And-
like that. So he'd throw the football.
Wasn't that John Madden that did tonight?
Oh yeah, maybe John Madden. He's a football guy,
Same basic guy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Montana
yeah.
and John
See,
Madden
they're
are
all-
essentially
they're
the
all-
same guy.
They're
And
all a
DiMaggio.
JM, just like
Yeah.
JD, JM, Joe,
Wasn't
Joe
Joe
DiMaggio.
DiMaggio?
John.
He was married to Marilyn Monroe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only know him from the Simon and Garfunkel song.
Yeah. He played baseball for the New York
That was
Yankees.
close.
Was he the Yankee Clipper? Was that his nickname? I think. I don't know.
I think we lost
Chris
Chris.
froze. And
Chris froze.
honestly, that kind of thing happens. He's just putting, like, he froze, by the way, and from the camera angle, he froze with
Yeah.
his finger.
The jolliest in his eyeball.
Yeah, I might have to take a photo of this.
Take a screen. Oh, came back.
No.
You froze with
I
your
know what
finger
happened.
in your eye.
Yeah,
like,
Chris, your finger
Oh.
froze and you were doing like a my God look, and it was
Sorry, guys.
perfect.
it was perfect.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
It was perfect.
So
Hey, Chris, is it? Oh, sorry, Jeff. I'm
Go
going to
ahead,
take
go
over.
ahead. No, you ask.
No, is it? You said you did the pitch. Is it something you've always wanted to do, or was it something that like you think would sell?
No, well, so
It
It's
won't
it's
sell,
an
and
idea.
I don't want to do it.
it's an idea it's an idea you and I talked about a while ago,
Okay.
but
Mhm.
I just plugged in like my favorite character.
Nice.
And your
So
favorite character is
Can't
Joe
tell because that'll
DiMaggio.
give away.
Rick Jones from the Incredible Hulk and Captain America.
so I did the pitch. They liked it. It's just all. It's part of a bigger kind of thing with other artists and writers. So it's all hinging on like a thing. So-
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's hinging
When
on
we're done,
the
I'll
thing.
tell you
All
about
right,
it.
it's Fantastic Four.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah, and
Like,
it made me
I'm-
realize.
I'm trying to-
realize I like writing.
I'm trying to think of the best character that it could be after you said it's my favorite character. So like I'm
That's what
trying
I
to
think
think of
too.
what
So
would
it's
be,
either
it's like, oh yeah,
Spawn-
it's going to be a speedball story. Just like the most terrible. Oh, you're finally doing that Nomad run that you wanted to do for so long.
Or what's up? Psycho Pirate or Space?
Psycho Pirate is DC, I believe.
Yeah.
I didn't
It's
even
all
think
about. It's all
DC.
about. It's a story about the Thanos copter. Like there's not even doesn't have characters in it. It's
Just that poor not
it's
new
just
guy, but like
Wait.
that poor Titan that has to be like repairing the Thanos copter.
exactly.
So wait, I have a question. So Jeff,
Mechanicus.
you know comics, and Joe, you know comics really well. I saw this like when I was doom scrolling. I saw this video about Thanos and how he picked this random baby once.
Oh, to torture every day.
to
Yeah.
torture his whole life. Yeah, like every year on his
Mhm.
birthday.
On his
he, like-
birthday, yeah.
yeah. I'm like, is that real?
Yeah, so he's done that a few times. He did that not only to that baby, but also in the Infinity Gauntlet story, he did that to Nebula, where he kept Nebula in a state where she was almost about to die. Where like
Mm.
all of the cells in her body were like about to die, and he like froze time. So she's literally on the edge of death for years. Just
Oh, wow.
this withered crone, just in a torturous state forever.
What's funny about Thanos is he's a petty bitch.
Yes,
I love that
yeah.
about like a nearly all powerful godlike character at one point.
Mhm.
Just to be the pettiest little I love that so much.
And he did it all for love.
Just a hater. Oh, I love it.
Well, that was the thing that he did that to Nebula because he did that as a tribute to death because she was so near death but not dead. It was like edging for death.
Edging
That's
exactly.
right. That sounds like a good podcast name.
I pulled a
Ooh.
Nebula autograph not too long ago.
From
What's her name? Karen-
what's her name?
It's Karen Gillan. It's a dual auto
Yes.
on a printing plate one of one of her and Palm Clementif. So
I don't know who Paul
Mantis.
Clementif is, but congratulations. Oh, okay, cool.
I gotta sell that thing.
Also, one of Superman's robots.
Gary?
That's right.
No, she's one of the
One of
her
the
and Michael
robots.
Rooker.
The non
Are one of the
Alan
rob-
and Michael
Oh, no,
Rooker.
I didn't know that. That's what I like about James Gunn. I don't like a lot of his movies, but the fact that he's one of those directors that is loyal to all of his friends and everyone he works with, and he just brings them back for a quick paycheck or just a fun background role.
What's funny about that too is like people give him a hard time for that when that's literally
That's what a friend should do.
almost every director does that. And I don't
Yeah,
like they
that's
work
true.
with
Yeah,
people they
Christopher
like.
Nolan and yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Well, I just saw Weapons, and this is a little spoiler for
Don't
anyone. if
spoil
they
it,
wanna
you piece of
close
shit.
their
I
eyes.
haven't seen it yet.
No, it's so good. But there's just for literally 2 seconds, Justin Long shows up, and you're like, that's great.
You love a long Justin.
That's yes.
Joe, what have you been up to? You've been drawing your little pictures?
Just my little pictures. No, like I did a ton of shows earlier this year. Like Chris and I talked about it last time I saw him. But like after Heroes, I took the rest of the year off just because
In case
I was.
we're going to bump into me, you didn't want to do that.
He said, "Hey, Jeff May's coming," and I said, "What show?" He goes, "I don't know." And then so I instantly just took my name off of all of
I
them.
get it. Honestly, that's a smart move.
You're like Simon Bisley. Last time I saw Simon, he kissed me twice. Like I just get random kisses from bearded men that I just needed to take a break from.
Am I like Simon Bisley? He's pretty good at
You're
art.
big and strong.
He's a very strong man.
Yes,
He's a
very
little more
strong man.
British than me.
And funny.
A little
And
better with the paints.
I've never seen your painting, so I
little.
can't judge.
Well, it's a little. I'm more of a like a Glenn Fabry.
That's a little bit more refined. That's
Laura.
I know.
yeah,
Kidding.
yeah.
I don't know anything about them. They're all British, right? So I'm assuming they're
Yes.
alcoholic painters.
So Bisley now actually is sober, but
Oh,
Glenn
good.
Fabry is a drinker.
Hell yeah.
Allegedly.
was like,
A party boy.
yeah.
I mean, they're good
No, he
timing
went-
guys. Yeah.
Well, I refrain because I'm scared.
Are you also a non-drinker?
No, I'm pretty square. I don't like. I have.
I've seen
I
Joe
just
drink.
don't.
I've seen you drink maybe once or twice.
Once
Just
I had
one cocktail.
What he
I
drank?
had one cocktail
True blood.
at yes, blood. That's right.
True blood, that fake blood from the vampire show, from the horny vampire.
I wait until someone else has drank enough, and then I drink their blood, and then you get the alcohol second wave. It's more pure.
Wait.
No, I had one drink at Chris's bachelor party. I had like some drink that Devin liked. I had in honor of Devin because he couldn't be
Okay.
there.
Oh,
Gin and tonic. The G&T.
Gin and tonic. That's what it was.
oh.
And then I think I drank one other time when a friend of mine got divorced, and like we all took him out partying. And then I drank at my senior prom. So there's 3 times.
Chris had a
3 times in 30
bachelor
years.
party, did he?
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
Oh, episode over.
All right, well, this was a nice little segment.
Would you have flown from California
How close to the wedding was it?
a couple weeks?
2
2
Was
weeks?
it that
2.5.
quick? 2 weeks
Yeah.
a month? It was in, where was it? It was at a casino.
Dude, because we remember we had it and we had to go to Disney.
I have a gambling addiction. That would have been great.
So
well,
drinks are on Jeff.
we did bring someone that had both a gambling problem and a drinking problem.
Really?
Yes.
Say their
Yeah.
name out loud. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
He's a lawyer. I can't. Yeah. We'll all get taken down. That's
You know, I feel like bachelor parties are where you find out that people might have addictive personalities, and you're just like, this is a side of this person I did not know. Anyway, I'm gonna go get married next week.
anyway, not my problem now.
I actually had 2
Oh, and
separate bachelor parties because a lot of my friends were dirtbags that couldn't afford like a nice time. So like I
Okay.
went out with a couple of my very, very close friends that were more like single kidless dudes. And we had like a nice sit down dinner and me being like, I love you guys doing this. And then we had like the rent a trashy limo, go to a casino and be a problem kind of trip. Yeah.
now, did you invite either me or Chris? Because now I think we're all even on the bachelor
No, I
party
didn't
thing.
know you guys.
Oh, you
That
knew.
sounds like an excuse.
You knew of us.
I didn't. I
You should have.
That was 2010.
Oh, I knew you.
How old were you when you got married, Jeff?
I was 29.
Okay.
I
Wait,
knew
what?
you then.
No, I was 28.
And
Yeah.
Joe, I already met Jeff at that point.
No, actually, I don't think you did.
Let's
Because if
break out the
we
diaries.
had no rapport, because the first rapport that we ever had
Was it Philly?
you doing, no, it was you doing the first conversation we had was at a Boston Comic Con or Wizard World Boston. It was like 2013, I want to say. So it would have been
That's the first time I met
Boston.
Chris.
And it was because you did
that Philly show.
You did a vivisector in my ecstatic sketchbook.
You said you did a vivisection.
You charged me $40.
What's vivisector? That character I don't know.
The gay Harvard educated werewolf guy. Absolute banger of a book. If you've never read it, you should, because it's incredible.
No, text it to me the name, because I will.
Information. I'm not doing your labor for you. You're not into
That's right.
labor.
This is recorded.
I had an ex one time tell me when I asked her if we could hang out more often, she goes, "You're not entitled to my time." And I was like, that is one of the meanest things anybody has ever said to me.
Ooh, that's a good question. The meanest thing anyone's ever said. That's pretty solidly like you. Like, yeah, good Lord. Why are we together?
The last two girls that I was in a relationship with, one said that after, because I was like, I'd like to see you more than one day a week if it's possible. Like,
yeah, we're dating. I'd like to date
you and building something with you. And you are not entitled to my time. And I was like, we'll
never see you again
right now. And then there was another one where all this stuff was being done without me. And I was like, hey, how come I didn't get invited to any of these things? And she was like, I just didn't want to have to answer all these questions. And I was like, well,
oh, good Lord.
Thank God that I got to feel like crap for a month straight, because you didn't want the inconvenience. We're together.
Poor.
It's okay.
Or just, this is my friend Jeff.
Well, they knew who I was. It was an on again, off again relationship.
Well, sorry, Jeff.
No, it's okay. I am fine. When they pay me, you'll be fine.
Do you want to wipe the tears off before we finish recording, or
tears? Oh, thank God I'm not in a relationship where I'm being hidden or being made to feel like I'm on probation.
That's right. You've reached your allotted time for this week. Yeah. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Like, I only had. So it's just a.
It's like you were dating a therapist.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's all the time we have this week, Jeff.
Aren't they supposed to make you feel better at the end?
And 45 minutes. Okay, we're done.
It's like, well, our time is up here. If you
Tim Sale, when he would do commissions, they were timed, and
dude, a lot of
half
people
hour,
do
an
that
hour,
now.
or something. Is that true?
It's a good move,
dude. It's crazy now. It's a lot of like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, but it's like,
jeez,
yeah. But it's like, yeah. So some of them are like 300 for the first 10 minutes. What's your time?
I'll
tell you the names later.
You know, like the honest answer the honest part to that is like when you look at somebody like Jim Lee, for example, doing his commissions, right? But it's also like
$1,000 for a marker.
But it's also like one of those things where it's like, should he just be doing sketches for people for the rest of his life and ignore his family, his giant family of a family? Like, what's your time worth? What's the value of your time? And so like, I remember actually it was J.G. Jones, who I just hosted for at Comic-Con.
I love that guy. He's the nicest guy in the world.
Right.
He is the nicest, most gentle soul of all time. J.G. Jones is a treasure. Sorry, Chris.
Chris is asking why not me, but you know why. I asked him about his prices, and he goes, my prices are set to the exact point where somebody who really wants a commission from me will get one, and casual people will not be wasting my time.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
And to me, I was like, that's the best way to do it. Like, your time is valuable. It's finite, right? So like, how much of your time, these commissioners are not entitled to your time.
That's right. My buddy, Mark Nelson, a great artist, he lives down in Texas. He would always say like his goal was to make $200 a day. So that's how he would price his originals or his commissions or something like that. He said, whatever he felt like working, as long as he would make $200 a day, whether it was an hour or 10 hours, that's what he felt he was comfortable with. I've always kind of keep myself in that range.
But sometimes like someone will come to you with like a commission idea that is so fun, and they're like a kid or like somebody who, you know, obviously can't afford
different, Chris.
top dollar. Yeah. But yeah, I get the whole pay for your time. Your time is valuable.
That's why I say no to everybody, especially kids.
There you go.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Oh.
When I asked a commission for, I was like, "What are your commission rates?" And he's like, "It costs one. Go f yourself."
That's
Well,
right. It costs.
Wow.
You are not. Crap. What did she say? Privileged to my time, or
Yeah,
Well-
not entitled to your time.
Joe,
entitled to my commissions.
Did you forget Dragon Con?
Yeah. Chris's best prank ever was because I don't sketch at shows. I just don't do it. I'm slow. I'm an idiot. I just can't do it in a public place like that. And so at Dragon Con one year, Chris is my neighbor, and there was a if you had the sign on your name, kids could come up to you and get free sketches in this little notebook that they had. And unbeknownst to me, Chris had put the sign on my thing, and the guy that had invited both me and Chris down walked by and said, "Oh, that's so cool you're doing that." So I couldn't get out of it. And then I drew Cubone and Pikachu all day long.
And Merman. He drew a lot of mermaids.
And Merman. I drew a lot of mermaids. That's right.
That's really fun.
My favorite.
And
Great-
piece
it was
of
a
shit for
great
doing
prank.
that, Chris.
That was a great prank.
A little kid came up to Joe and was like, with his sketchbook, "Can you draw me and my mom?" And Joe's, I think at this point, has already drawn 20 or 30 commissions. He was like, "Look, kid, I'm only drawing Merman." And the
I'll
kid
do
just
Merman.
closed his like walked away.
Well, it's funny because that kid came back and he asked my
You should've done
neighbor on
Merman.
the other side of me, and he goes, "Will you draw me?" In something else. He had changed it, but it was him like on a horse or something. And the woman, she goes, "No." And then he goes, "No one will draw anything." He stopped his
Yeah, dude, he went down the whole
Ran
row.
away.
Remember, he went down the whole row asking everybody.
That
To
is a
draw these, like,
lesson for that little kid.
He's like, "I want Napoleon charging in in battle."
Is he like building a storyboard
Can you
and
draw the
every
Sistine
artist
Chapel?
I don't know what-
supposed
yeah,
to
it
do the
was-
next part of the scene? He's like, so in this next scene, Ripley.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I want Boudica charging the ancient Romans. Like,
Oh man, that would drive me crazy if somebody walked up and like, "Can you do a car?" I'd be like, "I can do Spider-Man." Spider-Man?
Spider car.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man as a car? No.
No.
Or a car as Spider-Man.
I remember
Like that one kaiju show where Spider-Man transforms
Oh yeah,
into like a big mech.
yeah, that's fun.
You got to, because if you haven't seen those, you have to watch. They're some of the most amazing. It's like, I mean, just imagine Spider-Man was a Power
I mean,
Ranger.
Japanese Spider-Man.
Okay.
That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
Oh,
Fantastic.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Anyway, Jeff, to answer your earlier question, I took off the rest of the year to get caught up on stuff.
Oh, I stopped caring about the question.
Yeah, that's okay.
No.
I just wanted to.
So what are you working on?
It
You
was
took
still,
time
it
off
was
to
still
what? Draw one
attacking my
thing?
brain. Yeah, one thing. It's on the desk, and it'll take 6 months. And
What is it?
no, I'm just teasing.
You're teaching a class.
I did. Oh yeah, like I have a. I think it's coming out like a month. I have like an instructional inking course for like beginners and intermediates on different tools and different brush styles and
And where
inking
can you
styles.
find that?
If you go to my Instagram, the wait list is on the bio,
The wait.
and I don't
list.
know anything else after that.
You don't.
Wait, the wait
I don't
list
know
is
how
sign
much-
up?
So if I were to go
Or-
to at Joseph_Michael_art, there'd be a waitlistcourse.com.
Yes, thank you.
Joseph_Michael_art will bring us there.
Sure, I appreciate the plug. Thanks, Jeff.
Oh, I'm gonna edit that out. No, I'm just trying
Unless
to
I
find out
pay
what
you- unless
parts
I pay the
get
ransom.
edited out.
Anytime you say .com, it instantly just fizzles out of the recording.
Me and super producer Sam have a nice shorthand where I say certain phrases, and that is so you don't know that he's gonna cut it out.
You just do a
Oh.
finger
I'll
tap,
go,
like
interesting. Anyway, the class
Tell
sounds
me
really
more.
The class sounds really
Tell me
interesting.
more.
Joseph
Click.
Michael Art.
Yeah, so that was I recorded all that and did the voiceover. So that's just the only thing needs to be done is like all the technical stuff that they handle on whatever company this is releasing its side. And then earlier this year, I did like a choose your own adventure coloring book for adults. It was called Survive the Night.
Ooh, interesting.
Like it's at Walmart and Barnes and Noble and all that,
Wait,
but it
what?
was fun because it was like really gory and like I have all these like Jen posed for a lot of it, and then so I have all these pictures of Jen like on my phone, like and all these like weird positions, like,
You're like,
being murdered.
Here's a
in
bunch of
different ways.
photos of my dead wife.
That's right.
Oh, your
No,
wife.
she's alive. I promise.
And then you're like, and
Now
then
we're
you
back
show
to
that,
OJ.
hey, you want to see pictures
Yeah,
of my
yeah,
dead
that's
wife?
right.
And then somebody goes, I'm so sorry about your wife. Like, no, she's not.
no, she's fine.
Yeah.
Here she got murdered by a ladder. Here she got murdered by a knife. Here she got murdered by. So, but I just signed a contract to do like the sequel to that book.
And that's gonna be
next year?
I know nothing about it. I just know that I signed the contract, and I literally sent an email today because I hadn't heard anything in like 2 weeks. I'm like, hey, is there like a plot synopsis you could give me so I can start thinking about what the characters look
Can
like?
you tell me the setting so I can draw a place first?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they're like, the setting is go yourself.
The setting is when you get it, you'll get it.
Yeah.
But no, I took up oil painting a couple years ago, so I've been just trying to. That's the main reason. Is shows, and I told Chris this, shows are just really bad for me this year. They were just. My wife and I went to Chicago, and she was. And C2E2 is normally a fantastic show. And my wife looks over to me. She goes, "What the are we doing here?" Because it was just waves of people walking by or pointing and oh, that's cool. And it's just. I mean, normally that show was killer, but this year, all the shows this year except for OAX have just been.
You should have went to
barely making profit.
Dude, next year we were saying, I was talking to Jeff about this. So C2E2 C2E2 WonderCon and Planet are all the same weekend.
Oh,
that's a terrible idea.
Which one are you picking? Because those are like 3 of your shows.
We were gonna do WonderCon because we wanted to go to Disneyland, but
that's your birthday.
Oh, not
to
see Jeffrey.
It's a good show.
Not to see Jeffrey.
Jeff
no, I'm gonna see you in May, Jeff, when you come to Oakland.
Jeff May.
No pun intended.
I am Jeff May.
Oh yeah. But probably Chicago because it's just closer and you go to Chicago.
Oh, so you're getting on a plane no matter what, dude.
Well, it's the difference between a 6-hour flight and a 3-hour flight.
Oh God!
You think Chicago's better than WonderCon? Probably is, but
I literally don't know how it's going to be next year because Planet always pulls in like really good artists, so it's going to be interesting to see who goes where, or if somebody
about all
moves
the people
their
that
dates.
will be aimed to keeping the San Diego Comic-Con people happy by going to WonderCon.
And then the same with keeping New York happy by going to Chicago.
Yeah, because the Reed people control New York, and I think there's a Florida show they do now too.
Super MegaCon?
Emerald City.
No, not that one.
Chicago. They do SuperCon. It's in Miami.
Okay. Because MegaCon is different people.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not doing any of them.
Joe, now's your chance to come to WonderCon.
I did WonderCon 2 years in a row.
Take that Uminga space that's going to be opened up.
I have a nice picture of you, my wife, Chris and Chrissy, and Kyle, all in the dark with palm trees behind us.
I have a sepia-toned picture at WonderCon for Chris's birthday, I think.
Yeah, because we went to Disney, and Abe was there too, I thought.
Artist Abe.
Yeah, Artist Abe.
Abe. What a great guy.
Stopped doing shows, just does the Oddity Expo.
He does that Oddities and Curiosities Expo that probably he's making a ton of money because there's not a lot of art there. But man, what a bunch of taxidermied crap.
It's so there's 3 artist friends I know that have gone to just do those only.
Yeah.
And maybe one comic show, and they say it's killer.
I bet, because it's like I went to the one in Anaheim, and like every third booth
this taxidermy and skulls,
weirdo skulls and taxidermy. And I'm like, we're kind of gilding the lily at this point. You guys might have wanted to check and see how many. It would be like having 9 hot dog carts next to each other, and you're like,
or 7 hot dogs, like whitest kids you should know, or the whitest kids you know.
Oh God,
do you know that skit, the 7 hot dogs?
No, not
okay,
top of my head.
It's a good one.
You know what you should do? Tell me the sketch. Because which is always translate really well.
That's right. I'll act it out.
I will say this though. One time I was hanging out with Dave Perillo in Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to be home and he was in Providence, and so we met up and we were saying goodbye, and then we spent an extra 45 minutes just trading off "I think you should leave" references. And I was like, dudes, man.
That's not dudes. That's I think you should leave is universal.
Dudes rock.
It doesn't have to just be dudes.
No, yeah, but okay.
I don't want to be.
Sorry, I was a
be around
bigot.
anymore.
Everybody, cancel me. I guess the woke Joe Dragunas mob is coming after.
That's right.
So that happened to us the other night. We were out to dinner with 2 friends, and we were leaving, and then our friend Matt and April were there, and then Matt and I were in the parking lot just talking about Jackass. and it was raining, and we were just laughing and talking, and we look over, and Chrissy and April are just like standing in the rain, just nodding, and it's just like, dude.
Yeah.
My wife hates skit shows. I can't get her in SNL. Whitest Kids You Know.
Okay. Well, SNL's. I
it's
mean,
still
I think you
skits,
should
but-
leave. Should be like.
But that's the one that broke her. I got her. I showed her Coffin Flop after Chris had showed it to me, and she lost it. And then so that was the one that broke the barrier.
One of
was Coffin Flop and was Carl Havoc.
One of Jeff's cool friends was one of the pallbearers in Coffin Flop.
No,
Yeah,
nice.
Matt Merchant, yeah.
God,
That's
that
awesome.
show's genius.
So good. It's so good.
And a lot of his but when he was on SNL, like you could tell what skits were his.
But finally,
or, like,
yeah,
what he was
that
the main
round ball
writer
rock
on.
one was so good.
I don't know
The
that
one where he
one.
plays John Tesh's brother.
Yes,
and they're going
yeah,
NBA.
that's right.
NBA theme song.
Yeah, and that's so him. Like, it's so good.
There's
I
a
mean,
skit
that's
with-
legitimately like we could just do that. We could
Mhm.
spend the rest of the segment just being like, and also the one where Tim Heidecker's like,
And also,
how'd you get into Haunted House?
and also the one that says, "But those are the rules."
TC Tuggers.
Oh man.
Yes,
See, we could just do that the
Dan,
whole time.
Dan- Sure,
Dan
yeah.
Flashes.
I have another friend who is one of the people in a Dan Flashes melee. I mean, it's LA. You're gonna get people that are like, I was a featured extra in a thing.
I was the guy that had pants in the what were those called?
Calico
With the
Cut
stain
Pants.
on them.
Yeah.
Calico Cut. That's right.
Also, that Santa guy, that bit is so good where he's Santa in the movie and he like gets really mad because the guy brings up that he does Christmas and he's like, you were told not to bring up Christmas. It's bullshit.
Yeah, sloppy steaks.
Oh, see, I realized
See,
now that
we fell into the trap.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
realize now that that's the thing. And that's generally like, that is, I was going to say, like, I was having this conversation with somebody where dudes can easily devolve a hangout to them just either repeating
Just parroting.
jokes from things they've seen, or they name obscure athletes from the 80s and 90s. Where they'll,
I could do that. Let's name some
You did
athletes.
your best.
Jose Canseco.
there you go.
Oh, yeah.
I could say Terry
Huh?
Steinbach.
Nope.
Mark McGuire.
Give me. Do
There you go. So
what's that game?
we've done 3 Oakland Athletics.
What's that name? That game? Three truths and a lie.
3 truths and a lie.
So do characters and let's see if I can get.
Oh, like athletes?
Yeah, athletes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Ozzie Smith, Ozzie
Okay.
Canseco, Ozzie Mandias.
Oh, Ozymandias. That's the big
you
one.
did it. Everybody
Sneaker.
clap for Joe.
Just
He
because
got a sports
Ozymandias.
question right.
That was pretty sly. I've never heard of any of those other people.
okay.
I just knew Ozymandias.
Let's
was
try
real.
one.
Okay.
All right, Joe. Scott Frost,
Okay.
Raleigh Fingers,
That's gotta be Rodney Fingers. That's not a real name. Is he a professional bowler?
or
That's
Aaron Judge.
Raleigh Fingers sounds too fake.
No,
that's
they're all
like-
real.
Oh, shit.
And also Raleigh Fingers has one of the most iconic mustaches in the history of sports.
His name is Raleigh Fingers.
Yeah.
That's like
It's a curly.
Looks
He has
like
a
a
curly
butt
mustache.
kiss.
He looks like the damn Jack of Diamonds.
Dude, he does.
That is an amazing pull to say someone looks like the Jack of Diamonds. Way to visualize
Although, to
something.
be
That's
fair,
phenomenal.
It would have made much more sports sense if I said he looked like the King of Diamonds because he plays in the center of a baseball diamond.
Oh, I was thinking King Diamond, the band.
Oh God. So home
There's another 80s
plate,
pull.
first,
That's-
second, and third, they form a diamond shape.
Yes, I did play baseball for a couple years when I was like 12 and 13.
I'm starting to think you might be lying. That's your lie. Now tell your 2 truths.
The teacher says I've never been more bored in my entire life, except for the other time I was so bored was when I went fishing with my brother.
What position did you
Being
play?
a man.
I have no idea. I just remember I sat there in the outfield and was just like, good Lord. I literally would just sit there just swinging my arms because it was the most.
To put you in right field.
Oh man.
Yeah, sure.
Until a lefty gets up and then they're like, we're gonna switch him to left field. We're gonna do it.
Oh, I get it. It's just
Yeah.
like that way, like
So the ball never
whatever
comes
the
to you.
hitters.
Yeah. I mean,
deal. Wherever that was.
I did my fair share of sucking on Jolly Ranchers and picking dandelions in the outfield. So
Mhm.
your space is safe with us. This is a safe space for you.
Yeah, did you ever play sports, Chris?
The football? And then I just always played basketball growing up. Just loved basketball. And
Like
I
in
grew
high
up.
school, or like on a team?
Yeah. No,
Nice.
no. My high school did not have teams. We were too small of a school.
Hmm.
So we would always just play pickup games and
You've been a
like all
professional
summer. Just
wrestler.
play my wish.
I know you're
I wanted
Filipino, but
Chris.
you could have snuck into the bloodline pretty easily, I think.
So Chris, when his hair gets longer, it gets all curly. And I just wanted Chris to be a professional wrestler with like crazy curly hair and just dominate.
Yeah.
That's
Do that.
that was my dream.
And yet
Got to come up with a good wrestling name.
a guy that I wrestled, I used to backyard wrestle when I was in high school, and that dude made it to the show.
Nice.
And he
That's
What was your
cool.
wrestling name?
his name.
Or what would it be?
You don't want to know what mine was. I'll tell you after we record because it's
Okay.
it wasn't made to be edgelordy, but I look at it now and I'm like, but was it?
Yeah, but it was also the 90s.
Yeah, it was,
it's not
like
we didn't-
1997.
Yeah.
So or,
Kill switch.
I will put it in the chat.
What would it be now?
It would be,
Oh, I'm sorry for anyone who doesn't have the chat.
and what would it be now? I don't know. So I'm going to send a couple more things to the chat, which was the name of the group.
This is terrible audio.
God.
My finishing move was that where I would wrap a guy on my back, like I would hold him in like a headlock and then a leg lock on my back, and then I would
And then
fall back.
Fall
go.
backwards.
Don't do that.
It's all good.
Don't add that audio. But yeah, again, not proud of it, but
Dude, I met a guy at a show like 10 years ago. His name was Doug. And he was always like, oh, I want to be a wrestler. He was in his like late 20s. I just want to be a wrestler. I just want to be a wrestler. And Doug's awesome. And then one day, Doug is like, hey, man, I'm going to wrestling school. I'm like, oh, that's really good, dude, man.
How old is
Congratulations.
this guy?
late 20s.
Now, at that point, he's got to be, he's probably almost, then was probably late 20s. And then now he's a pro wrestler. He's like on TV. He's like,
Oh, really?
signed
What's
with
he on?
Yeah. He's on like MLW, so Major League Wrestling. He was on AEW a few times. He's got a good gimmick called like Love Doug, where he's like a little Cupid guy. Yeah, Doug's awesome. He's
Good
a
for
perfect
Doug.
example of chasing your
Good for
dreams.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, chase your dream.
I always,
Who's that wrestler that was like, I'll love you like that? Val Venus.
that's
Oh, yeah,
different.
That's
That's
kind of
different than
love.
Love Doug.
is that okay?
Val Venus was a porn star.
Yeah,
But now sells
Val
weed.
Venus
He
was
is
a-
or he was?
well, I guess Shawn Michaels was more of a gigolo, his character, but yeah,
Yeah.
Val Venus was.
It was a sexy boy.
And now he's a MAGA chud that sucks. Not Shawn
Who?
Michaels. I don't want
Shawn
to.
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels is?
Val
Yeah.
Venus. Shawn Michaels is just like a weird Christian now, but Val Venus became
Yeah, same thing.
a real MAGA chud.
Oh, we did?
That just shows you that the more brain injuries you have, the more right you get.
Yeah, it's like when Hulk Hogan came out, it's like, I support him. We're like, all right. And then we're like, Undertaker, don't say anything.
Yeah,
then he
yeah.
did.
Don't say anything. You got plenty of goodwill. Don't say anything.
Don't ruin it. Just go inside.
And then Kane runs for mayor, and we're like, why did you say anything? Kane,
Does he? Yeah,
Dude, he's the mayor of like a town in Tennessee or something.
yeah, knock.
just like Jesse Ventura. After wrestling, you go into politics.
You know, I
That's what they do, bro.
Holy Jeff, that's amazing.
You know, Hulk Hogan busted up my union accounts. Why we were never friends. But old Arnie, he knew better.
That's solid. Well done.
I have hosted several events as Jesse the Body Ventura.
That's very, very good. That's I like Jesse Ventura, but Vince McMahon had this thing a couple days ago that's like, I'm mad about all this talk that Hulk Hogan was a racist. He's not a racist. He just said racist things. And I'm like, good Lord, could you be any more?
Yeah,
By
but-
definition, that makes you a racist, Mac.
That's right.
And Vince pooped on this lady's head.
Yeah, he's not a good.
Vince McMahon,
Not a good
he's a
dude.
rapist.
He's a bad guy.
No.
He's one of the worst people
Some
alive.
people are saying
He
bad
just crashed
dude.
his Bentley.
Funny story, because I know we got to get out of here. But the other day, I was hanging out with my friend Lisa. She had just gotten surgery, and I was like, kind of like making sure she wasn't falling over. So like, I took her for a walk, and we were hanging out
Is she
at
okay?
a place. And I was like, well, look, if we're here and you're sitting here recovering, and I'm being a good friend, I'm gonna make you watch the Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret the Hitman Hart match from WrestleMania 13. And
As all people in recovery need.
yes. But like we started, like I started fast forwarding it to get there. And she's like, well, why are you skipping through this? And I was like, this match between the new Blackjacks and the head shrinkers. Not the head shrinkers, the headbangers.
Oh,
And,
yes.
and I was like, you don't need to see that. But then I was like trying to explain where all these people went. It was like, Triple H versus Gold Dust. And I was like, this guy actually kind of runs the WWE for now. And then, and saying all this. And then like when the new Blackjacks came out and Bradshaw was a part of it, I'm like, this guy ended up being one of the people implicated in the sexual assault stuff.
Oh, geez. I haven't watched that documentary. I just knew that McMahon was a piece of shit just from
I love watching
listening.
I love wrestling documentaries.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of them.
Dude, Vice does this awesome show called Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, yeah. It created the entire Dark Side canon. It's
really good. They just tell you stories about like all your childhood heroes, and you find out they're all smoking crack or killed their wife and got away with it.
Jimmy Snuka.
It's just, there's some stuff I get. Like when you hear about athletes taking steroids, I'm like, oh, what the f***? Of course. What'd you think? Like bodybuilders. You're like, yeah, no shit. But like when you start hitting your wife and shit like that, it's like, yeah, now you're in criminal territory.
A strong
now
stance
you should be in jail.
from Joe Dragunas here on
That's right.
Cool
That's
Friends.
right. Do steroids, just don't hit your wife.
Do your steroids without hitting your wife.
Yeah, that's totally fine. That's
the official stance of Jeff Has Cool Friends is
do roids, don't hit your wife.
Don't hit your wife.
Well, I gotta go, guys.
Yeah. Why, Chris?
Just put that needle down.
Did that phrase offend you for some reason, Chris?
Well, I mean,
not like hearing that message, Chris.
I'm pro steroid use. No,
so are we.
Exactly.
Fully support steroid use for any reason.
Hold on a second. Yes. Let me just pull this needle into frame.
Oh, look at that. Oh, we're Consecoing live on air, folks. Honestly, like you're two of my favorite people. I love having conversations with you. Chris, we can find you at Uminga 720. Don't talk to me like that.
Hands up.
Objectifying you.
And at Joseph Michael
His flesh.
Joseph_Michael_art. Chris, tell us where we can get more from you and about you.
I really just post on Instagram, but I have a piece that'll be in the Crazy for Cult show that I just finished today. So that opens. I'll be in Atlanta.
Oh, that's worse than LA.
I know, but so I just finished the piece, framed it, so that'll be out. And then I have Disney stuff that's available right now at Disneyland.
What's it of?
Mickey and Pluto, and then they just made a puzzle of one of my Haunted Mansion pieces.
Oh yeah, congrats! I saw that on Instagram. That's cool.
I'm not familiar with any of that, but good for you for whatever that is.
No, Joe, I had to buy them.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What's that then?
Every book I've ever done, all the copies I have came from Amazon.
Remember we were at Barnes & Noble, we saw your coloring book, and we were just like...
Yes. Jeff, that's a quick story, Jeff, if time allows. So we're all at Barnes & Noble, and Chris or Christy pulls out a book and says, oh, Joe, that looks like the one you did. And I was just like, that is the one I did. And then we flipped through it. I was like, what the f***? This is my book. And they had taken a hardcover book I had done and took like 80 pieces out of it and turned it into a softcover book. And literally I found out because Chris pulled it off the shelf.
Did they owe you money for that?
I legally think so.
Yeah.
Like
did you reach out and say, hey?
Oh, I did. And they're just like, oh, we'll send you some copies. Never got those, obviously. But just the fact that they just printed another book.
You're like, not only do I want those copies, but also I think you owe me residuals for this.
Or just, exactly.
Pay or me just what tell you.
Would have paid me for, or just tell me.
I have a slightly similar story of, I had a friend who did a design that Urban Outfitters bought for their online store only. And I saw it at an Urban Outfitters and I took the photo and I was like, hey man, saw your stuff at Urban Outfitters. It's so cool. He's like, what do you mean you saw it in Urban Outfitters? And I'm like, yeah, like, it's cool. And he's just like, that is not supposed to be in stores at all. And he contacted them and like, oh, we accidentally made an extra like 7,000. And he's like, you're
didn't pay you
for that. And they did.
Okay.
Oh, good for them.
And he tried giving me money. He was like, do you want some of this money? It's kind of a lot.
10% finder's fee.
And I was like, no, that's not why I did that. But hey, you guys are great. And
thanks, buddy.
You're great.
Let's wrap this segment up because for one, I'm going to be recording another segment in about 20 minutes.
Ooh.
But two,
With who?
No,
with
Vince McMahon.
Whoa.
yeah,
What?
And Brock Lesnar? Oh, Jeff.
look, friends are friends.
Problematic.
With the incredible, the next segment, which will be, for those of you listening, the incredible Aaron LaPlante and Rocom, two more talented artists of a slightly different variety. But this is the art episode. One of the art episodes. I've had plenty of artists. But you all need to follow Chris at Uminga720 and follow at Joseph_Michael_art for more. So check those out. And gentlemen, last words.
Pizza.
Ooh, wings.
Ooh, and bye. Folks, I'm very excited to finish off this episode of the Jeff Has Cool Friends 100th episode-ish, a spectacular extravaganza bonanza experience and the new power generation with two of my favorite people on the planet, two of the people that I think I might hug the most in public, if I'm being 100% honest. From episode 18, I am joined by creator, professional, badass voice, and absolutely best dude, Aaron LaPlante. Episode 18 coming in hot.
Hi.
And from episode 78, so we're talking a 60 episode space. In between these, we are with the absolutely lovely musician, artist, toy maker, pin company owner, guy wearing a Saga shirt.
Yeah.
Rocom, how's it going, bud?
What's up? I went into a Panera Bread, which I never really do often, but the person handing me the soup said, "Is that a Saga shirt?" And I was like, "Yeah, it actually is."
Like, imagine if it wasn't. It's a Saga on the side.
Right? Yeah, literally.
You
Dude,
should have just went, nah.
As a designer, one of my most hated things is the logo. I'm like, am I working the booth? Like, what is this?
That was why I never bought anything from Graffiti Designs.
Always had the graffiti.
They used to have the graffiti on. I bought one X-Men Xavier School t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then most of the time people would be like, what's Graffiti Designs? I'm like, well, this did not get the desired. Now I'm just advertising a t-shirt company.
It's so funny because I loved that booth because they always had the right shirts, but it always had that stupid stamp on the arm, and
I don't like the stamp.
Or companies that put the website on the back of your neck to put a .com on.
We'll put it this way: like the hats I normally wear, the ones with the M on them, I'm so against that that nobody knows that those are custom Jeff May merch hats. It's just the M, but those are
that's awesome.
merch. Yeah. Because I hate that tacky comedian website on the back, and I refuse to do it to my detriment. But I think, and Aaron, you can correct me, but the last time I saw you was at Rocom's booth.
Probably
in Pasadena.
Yeah, probably in Monsterpalooza.
Monsterpalooza. I mean, that's one of the only times I ever really get out.
Yeah. I will say Midsummer Scream just passed this last weekend, and dude, what a fun show. Oh my God.
Oh, did you booth out there? Yeah.
And I didn't. And so I think that's why I'm saying positive things. It's because I wasn't stuck at a table like shilling stuff. I was walking around and running into people, and it was really fun. It kind of refreshed my view on going to conventions.
Yeah. I went there once, and the way with which they were setting up getting into the convention, I got a sunburn.
Yeah.
Because it's like the line was like a mile long.
In the sun.
Getting that in so slowly. And I just sat there and I'm like, I can't come back to this thing.
Right.
And like we were there.
It's gotten better, but I will say plenty of people that will walk you in with the vendor badge.
Dude, we were there with Dana Gould.
And it didn't matter.
And this is one of those times where I wanted to be like, I think it's time to flex, Dana. We are scorching in the sun.
All in the favor, Dana. Yeah.
Like, it's time. It's time for you to say, don't you know who? I mean, not really, but.
Yeah.
And then watching in there, I was like, I don't know if I could do this again. Like, it just took everything out of me just waiting in line. But I do love going to conventions as a fan.
Yeah, before all the company stuff and whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's what creates the love for all of it, I think, going to that stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing the other side is weird, but it all has its own levels of fun. I don't know. Yeah.
There's also like a really it's a profound experience to be able to just kind of in the age of Instagram, if you follow somebody on Instagram, what they put out there becomes kind of like part of your life, daily life. If you look at Instagram enough, which, if
Right.
anybody has Instagram, they do look at it. And
All
so
the time. Yeah.
it's so neat that when you can go to one of these conventions, whatever subject matter of the convention, and walk up to somebody who creates something that you follow and is part of your day-to-day life, and you're aware of them, well aware of them. But then the simple action of like walking up to somebody's table and suddenly they are looking right at you, and you get to either, if you make something, maybe you have something to offer them. And that sort of, not that it's a transaction, but that sort of like that gift giving tradition.
Yeah, the camaraderie of it.
Yeah, it like bonds you forever, even if you don't really. I mean, Rocom, that's how you and I know each other.
Yeah,
it's like we were
totally.
introduced, you gave me a toy, and then we were introduced again. Then
Right,
we ran
and then
into
you
each
gave me
other out in the
your-
world.
yeah, right, right.
And so it's like we don't, unfortunately, I mean, I miss you, buddy. I'm going to say it
Yeah.
right here on the podcast. I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. Because I haven't really been able to, be out and doing stuff, but
Yeah.
but like, I see that toy in my little studio all the time. And so it's
Which
kind
one
of like,
did I get you? I
it was
forget.
it was the like the Terminator type character,
Yes, okay,
right?
cool.
With the removable heads, and
Right,
so
right.
it's just, anyway, I feel like the conventions, as much as there are different sides, and I have not really seen too much of the other side in terms of being a vendor. I'm more of just kind of like a pop-up guy. It's, where I just show up at a pop-up and I'm like, look at all this shit, and then like, disappear out into the night, but
you know what's funny about the pop-up stuff is like I'll randomly go to the pop-ups you have, and I've known you for years now, and I'm still just like, I'm gonna buy this. And like,
That's
I'm gonna buy this, and I'm gonna buy this, and this one's a gift
It's
for this
just-
person.
I think,
And I
like,
love that about
and giving your money, so giving somebody the opportunity to give their money and actually make that choice in front of the person responsible for the reason why they're making that choice is such a human. That's so, like, these conventions are getting big, and obviously they're being pushed from different entities, but the fact that people keep showing up, it is, I think, sort of like from like a sociological standpoint, like the idea of human beings being interested in the otherworldly efforts of other human beings, full stop.
And the idea of being, and this is the conceit of this whole show, being a fan of your friends.
All right.
And that to me is one of those things where, like, I know you both, right? I love both of your work. So if I know something is good for somebody that one of you makes, I'll be like, I'm doing it. Or like at Rocom, your booth, you're like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm like, I got your booth.
Right.
And I'm just like, I'm like selling these things.
Talk
and
about
like,
camaraderie.
I'm telling people, I'm like, you like, this is what this does, and it's the Glyos, and like talking all about it. And people are like, oh, do you make these? I'm like, no, this is my friend's booth. I just love it.
Yeah, I have nothing to do with this. Dude, Aaron, last time I saw Jeff, it was Monster Palooza, and like,
nope. Last time you saw me was San Diego Comic-Con.
I did see at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But the time that Jeff is talking about before that at Monster Palooza, legitimately Jeff just like took the reins and started moving my shit. And then I'm always just like, all right, thanks for looking, bye. Jeff's like, you like stuff? What are you into? Which one's your favorite? Like, he'll get in there, and like, it's such a, Jeff, the way you do it is so, it's honest, and it's like amiable, and because the worst is we've all been to shows where people are barking their $3 for $1.
Oh,
like,
God,
the worst, and people around you in the booth have to hear your spiel over and over again, and like, it's cool because you're able to get that same attention without being so awful.
Well, the thing about, here's what I've learned about sales is if you want to feel good about being successful in any form of sales, you have to not try to sell. You have to build a human connection. And so a lot of times with that stuff, when you'd see like a family and you talk to the kids.
Yeah.
Because the kids are never seen.
No.
Parents are seen all the time, but kids aren't seen. So when a kid walks by to this, and I'll say, which one's your favorite? And I'll say, and it's really one of those things where, like, assuming nobody's going to buy anything, I don't want to be bored.
Right. And I want to know what the kid actually likes, right? He'll have the best answer.
Yeah, what's a kid? And kids are going to be generally honest.
Right.
You know, and
be like, we're thank you, fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like, no thanks. And you're
well,
like,
also you just think about like what pathways are you going to sort of like indirectly and inadvertently lead them down by virtue of their interest in whatever you've created to your hyper specificity that then somehow translates to some kid who was born years after you,
Right.
but they have the same proclivities as you. They see a robot and they feel kind of the same way that you do when you see a robot, you know.
Right,
and
right.
but you have lived longer and you have experimented with your own taste and ability for so long, and it's evolved over time that it's just so, you know, we talk about all the terrible influences that are going on right now and the terrible things that people have to see. But when you go to these conventions, you can really see like people with actual superpowers.
Yeah.
You know, to make art or to be filmmakers or whatever, you know what I mean, to be actors or whatever. And I every time I go to those, I am the most moved by this, especially when the parents dress the kids up and the kids are all into it, like Edward Scissorhands
right.
or some shit, you know, like I just think about like, well, I just think about the fact that I'm even to this day, I am still worshiping the idols that my father offered to me. Those idols being the creature from the Black Lagoon, the Invisible Man, and so on. You know what I mean? And so I can just imagine these kids and the idols that are being given to them by their parents at these conventions.
That actually leads me into something very interesting because, Aaron, you have your project Emotional Support Objects, right? Where you make these very small, almost dollhouse sized things that are just very like I have the TV, the tube TV with the Orion on it.
Right. Right.
Because I'm just like, just reminds me of watching RoboCop.
Yeah, all day.
You know, like that's legitimately it, right? You have one of your most popular things is just a piece called My Dad's Bookshelf.
Right.
And it's all your dad's horror books. And it's just like a little mini dollhouse sized version of the books from your dad's bookshelf. Now, that is literally what your dad's bookshelf looked like.
Yeah.
And so many people relate to that. They took a piece of your history and said, we have a shared history that while we didn't live the same life, we've had very similar experiences. And that's one of, I think, the very unique things about Emotional Support Objects is you are creating very specific cultural touchstone memories.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you. I mean, just the description of that, my dad's books, that object is kind of the essence of what the whole thing is about. And thank you for calling it a project, because I think for me, at its essence, it is just a project. I'm just sort of experimenting with my ability to arrange items in such a way that the value of them together is more than them separately, you know, and that's people do that in art all the time. And so like, you know, but it is kind of these things, but I don't know, there's a lot to it, but yeah, that sort of hyper specificity and knowing that like, if I really just kind of looking back in my life and knowing that if I had an experience, so many other people did too, you know, just simply that's it, you know, and you know, the idea for any of the objects that I make, they come from seeing the object. They don't come from, I have an idea and I need to try to find some objects to make it happen. It is seeing the idea and seeing how it can be packaged. That's really it.
I love that.
And so it is almost like I call myself a San Fernando Valley folk artist, where I go around and just gather from different stores. And then, you know, I have a thing called nostalgia nickel bags, and they are, I go to the smoke shop down the street and they have a whole section of various size plastic bags for various different nefarious reasons. And what I do is I buy them and then and then I put little objects in them, and then it becomes kind of like a sort of like a drug deal of nostalgia.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah. And so I actually, the last time I gave somebody one, he was like, I'm getting high from it right now. And I'm like, that's right. That's like, but anyway, so the action of doing that, the giving of it is really like is what yeah, it's how I'm sort of moving through the world and having something to offer, because the voice acting stuff, that's something that people can kind of find out about me.
Mhm.
But if I come showing up, I always like to sort of have something to offer, and sometimes in the form of like a little object that somebody can then just really, every time they look at it, they get a laugh out of it. It's like
Yeah.
this, it has this, well, you know the drill. You
It's
guys
either
know
that
the
or the
drill.
Aaron LaPlante calling card, where any place I go to the valley, sometimes I'll see an animation cell on a horror scene and I'll just
Right.
say, Aaron LaPlante's been here.
Yeah, and that's again the exact result that I was hoping for, because when I do that stuff, the animation cell, the imagery on the animation cell, and the still that I pair it with, I don't own any of that. So it's really just about like it's pursuing this kind of creativity that just is like unendingly, it's just delicious, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just, kind of
You
leave
did
them
a
around for people to find.
you did a really unique one recently that was the Ecto One parked outside of the Fright Night house.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was really interesting. Now, so what I love is that you are literally taking nuggets of nostalgia from your experiences and putting them in, which I really love. Rocom, you do something very interesting as well, where you are introducing a lot of people. And I want to come back to what you were talking about with that kid. Almost every kid knows that you can get toys if they're in Canada at Toys R Us, but like Target, Walmart, etc. And so a lot of the times when you're interacting with kids and you're showing them what you do and how you make them, they had no idea that people that aren't working in factories in, I was going to say like factories in Ohio, but nothing's made in Ohio anymore. But like, you're just a guy that he's looking at. You're not
Right.
you're not Hasbro. You're not Mattel. Like you're not like Spin Masters or anything like that. You're Rocom. You're a dude right there that's made some really cool stuff that glows in the dark, and you can take the heads off and put the head on that where the fist would be,
Right.
and it's like it opens up this world of possibility that I think I'm not sure you actually understand. I'm not sure you recognize that part of it because you're trudging forward, moving forward, and doing the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure you understand the microcultural influence that you're having on these kids.
I think I see it in my friends' kids, because that's where I see, like, they send me a picture, like they're so into these, they're playing with them or whatever, and how the kids will give their different figures their different names, like this guy's called this, and like to see kids today playing in the patterns and the ways I grew up playing with, I'm like, oh, it's innate. It's not something that you needed to watch He-Man or Turtles for. Even though kids can still watch Turtles now, it's one of the few things that survived.
Yes.
I feel like
It's forever. We're always it.
yeah.
It's like I think Ninja Turtles is like those immortal jellyfish, and it's like
Yeah,
I
right.
live, I die, I live again.
Those would just continue on. I see it in my friends' kids in that, and it's refreshing. I do think about the fact that, like, when I'm long gone, there's going to be a milk crate full of stuff, and then there's going to be some Mighty Maniacs like stuck in there. Like that stuff's a fun thought, and I think about that now and again. I think in general for what I do, like designing and creating toys, it's something that as a kid, dude, most professions you don't know it's a profession as a kid.
Yeah,
Like
right.
Aaron, like voice acting, like I can be the voice of a cartoon or a VO or anything. Like it's not something you ever think about. And then when you end up in these spaces where you get to like make a living doing that stuff, it's awesome. Like I remember someone pointed out to me that my day job, is also just designing at a toy company, and they're like, dude, you have one of those jobs that people have in movies where it's like characters in movies, they're like, oh, that guy writes greeting cards for this company and that's their job or whatever.
Oh.
And it's like a weird niche thing. You're like, people in real life don't have those jobs. And so I thought it was really funny. My friend's like, dude, you have like one of those jobs only people in movies have. But then I was thinking the movie Big, and it's just one of the best movies of my childhood growing up. And I still love rewatching it. But it feels good to feel like, oh, I get to be Josh Baskin for a little bit, you know, in my adult life. So I always love that thought of it too.
I like to self-deprecate. You kind of have to. I'm tall and I look like an ass, so I can't be cocky, or else people will just be like, this guy's an ass.
You already got a lot going for you, Jeff. How much more do you want?
Yeah. Anybody who's tall will tell you how much it's not cracked up to be.
Not as fun.
Oh, dude, I don't fit in shit. Like try taking a piss on a plane. Try walking out of that plane without piss on your pants. It's not happening.
Aaron, you're a tall guy too, right?
Yeah, Aaron's big guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just, I just kind of balefully go through like the Goodwill stacks and just see if there's any big stuff left for a big old guy.
Dude.
And well, I mean, I think, you know what? I'll tell you, the fact that nothing fits has made me kind of slow down in terms of my expression fashion wise to where like, a good pair of pants and a or a good, series of a few pairs of pants, and then the t-shirts. I mean, we all know, we were talking about your t-shirt earlier. T-shirts, I really think of them very seriously as like, especially these days, as I go through the world, I want people to know what I'm about instantly when they see me.
Mm-hmm.
And I want it to be something creative and specific and fun, and something that I have a lot of fun with, and
and also something that endears you to people.
Well, yeah, because that's gone through. I was going to say, from my childhood, my dad, like when Fright Rags first came out and all that stuff, my dad would send away for shirts, and we'd be going around in the grocery store, and my dad was not the type to really just randomly introduce himself to people. But if he had some kind of specific reference of a shirt, and some guy walked by and said, "Oh, hey, nice shirt," or whatever, my dad would immediately soften, have a nice genial exchange with that person. They'd go off, and he would turn to me and say something to the degree of, "You always know who's cool by who mentions your shirt." So it's like, dude, if I can find like a good t-shirt company that has like, they shrink the way I like it, I'll just go with that,
So the shirt is by Discount Cemetery, which I'm assuming you guys both
Oh,
know,
of course. Yeah,
right?
I love them.
And they're great. They're the nicest people. But one of the problems is I'm so tall, but I have like this weird little girl waist. I have like these big shoulders that, like, for a shirt to not look like I'm wearing a dress, it has to be a certain size. But I'm also so tall that it ends up like the shirts get cut off at like right above my belt buckle. And then you guys have seen me in public. It's a hard balancing act, right? But I walked into boxing this morning, and again, I can recognize that I'm an intimidating looking man, especially in a boxing scenario. And there were two new female students that were there. They were learning, and one of them had a Star Trek shirt on. And I walked by and I said, "I love your shirt. I was just in Vegas for the convention." That relaxed her in ways she was not expecting.
Yeah.
And it was like, "Hey, you're in a safe place with people who share your interests, and have fun. And if you can do it, if I can do it, you can do it," and blah, blah, blah. Right. And I got my English shorts on, or whatever, when I walked in. But I do think that one of the things that you guys are very good at is making fandom feel safe, comfortable, and accessible with what you do. And Rocom, you with yesterday's, one of the things that is really fun is going to Comic-Con and seeing the line of dedicated fans to your company waiting for the chance to give you money.
Yeah, it's bizarre. it's
not bizarre. You do great.
No, I like what we make, and it still floors me. Like, just the fact that people will spend time to wait for the thing, and like, no one needs the thing. I don't need the thing.
I needed the thing. I needed one for a good friend who's listening to this episode right now. I'm going to do a never-ending story thing, but that Ryu beating up the Cybertruck pin from my very good friend Bob Shaw, who is listening and is like, "Oh my God, he said my name." But like, I needed that because he's a good dude.
Right.
And he really wanted that. And I was there and I could get that for him.
You're like, I can get that. Yeah.
Like, and I was like, "Yeah, man, you got it."
I think that's another fun thing about, going all the way back to convention culture is like, you build this weird kind of like circus family of people, that live in all these different facets. And we all kind of know. I mean, that's why we're friends, Jeff, is, because of the various people that we know through convention life.
Yeah.
Tom Whalen, Secret Galaxy,
Yeah,
Dan.
Dan Larson and Alex Pardee.
Yeah, right. All that stuff. And then Aaron, you and I know each other through Alex as well. And
Yeah.
speaking of he's curating a pop-up at Revenge of that comics pinball place. That'll be August 30th. I don't know when this episode airs, but
this will be right in time because the regular episode drops August 19th. Happy birthday, Dad. Maybe you could call me. And August 26th will be the free feed. So it'll be this weekend if you're listening for free.
Amazing, yeah. Then this weekend, if anyone is in the LAOC area, Valley area, even San Fernando Valley, perhaps, Revenge of is great. Fun, very fun.
Oh yeah, they're so wonderful. I love them.
Just to visit it and see what kind of fantasy of a comic shop they've created.
Boy, have they grown up too. Like they've expanded in ways, and it's just
and talk about leading people. Talk about leading people down paths. I mean, again, like anybody that shows up there are kids who part of their growing up is going to be going there. Part of their connection to their parents. I mean, it's just, and also I was going to say there's something to be said about when kids observe adults doing really cool creative stuff, like seeing somebody that is obviously an adult and that has mapped out a life for themselves to where there is room for them to dedicate themselves to these amazing creative endeavors that they have access to, that they can
silly things.
I
realized we were not clear, folks. For those of you that are not in the Southern California area, Revenge of is located in Eagle Rock. It is a comic book shop / pinball cafe is the best way I can currently describe it, because they've expanded in a massive way. They do lots of events. They have like street parties. Their vibe is very chill. It's very progressive and open and welcoming. I saw those guys at the Hilton Bar on Friday night during Comic-Con and was like very happy to see them. And honestly, great spot for a date. Is you go to the Wife and the Psalm, which is a block and a half away.
Yeah, which is the place I still have yet to eat, but I know it's the place that you always say for date nights.
I'm telling you, the food is incredible. The prices are unbelievable for the food that you eat. And then you can just walk over. So you're eating at like a nice little fancy spot. And then you get to do something that's fun and exciting and energetic and cool.
And there's so many facets to that shop too. Like pinball's obviously a great date thing, right? You could both hunch over the machine and get mad when you lose the ball. But what a great place to look at vinyl records, comics, toys, all these things that you can kind of have a million discussions about.
They're vegan friendly. They're like dietary, because they're progressive. So they do everything they can to have a good
accommodate
spot that doesn't make anybody feel left out.
Yeah. The way going back to the t-shirt thing, how that kind of is a great way to find out who your people are, right? With the pin thing, I always thought of it that way as well, where people in 2015, 2016, when there was a pin craze of people collecting these things. My favorite part of it was that you wear this tiny little emblem of who you are, and it's the best icebreaker ever. Oh, I like your pin. Oh, what is that? It's such an easy in to have a conversation and meet someone.
I actually have to rebuild the pins on my bag because I got a new bag.
Okay.
And one of my favorite things to do with pins, because I have a very sort of Buddhist way of doing it, is I'll be at airports and kids love staring at the backpack.
Oh, fun.
They love staring at the pins. And I would always be like, as long as it's not one of these 5.
Oh, give one away. Yeah.
That's cool.
Take it.
Great.
I love that.
There's nothing like what are they going to take that I can't replace? Like, oh, do you want this Alan Rickman from Galaxy Quest button? Okay.
Right.
Here.
Well, I was going to say, this kind of goes back to, Rocom, something you were saying before about the accumulation and then figuring out a great way of being able to share it.
Right.
Because that's, I think we as collectors, as we do it, we start to become aware of the older collectors who they spent their lives doing this so that when they start to see some of the younger generation come sniffing around, you can sort of take something off your shelf and
Yes.
and give it to the person and say, here you go, this is, and then suddenly that it blows their mind,
Yeah.
and then maybe it leads them down a pathway of collecting a certain or whatever. So yeah, it's like we all, I feel like we all have a gifting closet, where
Yeah.
we just go, let's put this in there, and you're on your way out the door. And my wife definitely does. And I feel like some of my emotional support objects, I'll make them for a specific person.
Sure.
And so
Yeah.
my drive to do it, my drive to even do it at all is because I love that person so much.
Right.
And so then I make this thing for them. And then suddenly the fact that it even exists means, oh my God, if I give this thing to that person, it's going to blow their mind too. And maybe, and that's how it sort of flows. You're putting so much love into these things that it's infectious.
It's a really like unique love letter, that you don't throw away, because it's a great thing to put on the shelf. Yeah.
One of the things that we've really loved doing at Mint on Card was pretty quickly we implemented a like a raffle where I would just collect stuff over time and have access to these things. And I'd be like, what's fun at a free comedy show? Just giving away silly free shit. And like, I walked into my local comic shop and my good friend who works there was like, hey, and he's been to the show before. He's like, hey, I accidentally ordered some posters that we're never going to be able to sell. It's like, it's not that they're not good posters. It's just, we don't sell posters unless people order them. And I ordered the wrong thing. He's like, why don't you take them and give them away at Mint on Card? And like, so now they like, you start, it is this like, because the other part with this, and Aaron, you kind of peeked on that too, is like the collector's fallacy, which is I'm going to have this all forever and I'm rich because this stuff is valuable. And then you die. And then everybody's just like, well, now I have all this crap.
Yeah.
Oh, no, because like it's not
biggest fear, dude.
It's not necessary. So like I started kind of waking up from the collecting matrix a little bit and just being like, I don't need all this stuff. I could sell this.
Yeah.
And then like eat.
Right.
Well, I meant, or there's a thing sometimes like that I've discovered too, and there's a great tradition of this been going on for a while now, is like going out somewhere and finding some kind of item that I can take into my little shop and change it around slightly that then elevates it in a way that somebody would be like, holy shit, I want to have that. And it, so, like repainting it or just kind of like whatever they call it, just sort of give it a glow up, so to speak, or make it into a piece of art that it wasn't even considered, people like what people do with toys. But like, you find a lot of weird in the knick-knack area of a Goodwill, a lot of interesting little sculptures that you can really just slightly change, and then they become something completely different. And sometimes that's kind of fun too.
Yeah, I do. I genuinely love that aspect of it. I also love like the upcycling aspect of it too. And I guess, I mean, I'm not going to have anybody on this. There's very rare do I have a guest on this show that I'm just like, I actually don't like this person anymore. And it's usually after, right? But
I can imagine how that episode would go.
You know what? I got you on here just to tell you you're a ass. Okay.
I mean, there are people that I am not inviting back on for any of the anniversaries.
Oh yeah, right. So there have been some maybe.
Sure. I mean, sure, but it's not. I mean, normally it's just like, oh, this person I dated.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to go this way.
We had a very bad. We had a falling out or something like that.
Oh, sure.
But it is one of those things where like you guys just, your vibe is so good and fun, and you do so many great things. And I realized we were vibing out on one thing, and I forgot to bring up Aaron. So when you brought up Instagram, I was going to be like, yes, Fixed, a thing that you're posting a lot about, right? And then like I was going to go and Rocom, Throw Light. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
And then we just started going and vibing out on these toys. So Aaron, give me a little elevator pitch for Fixed, which I believe was just released on Netflix. Is that correct?
Yeah. Fixed is an animated feature film, 2D animation done by Gendy Tartakovsky, written by Gendy Tartakovsky, and oh God, I'm totally blanking on the other person's name that wrote the script. But it is, it's a dog that finds out what it means to get fixed, and then he finds out that he's going to get fixed, and he escapes and kind of goes on a rated R Oliver and Company jaunt through a big city, and really it's just a sort of cavalcade of you can't believe that you're seeing this happening with a bunch of animated characters.
Oh,
Is frankly, you know what I
How
mean?
does
Like
it? I didn't
there's
know it had the adult element. That's so rad. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty, and so it's one of those things where, when you watch it, I feel like any adults kind of rated R animation, it's almost as if like people are so quick to either like accept it or be like, nah, it's another
Yeah.
rated R comedy and like whatever. But really, when I see those and because I grew up watching Bakshi and
I like Fritz
I
the
would
Cat.
just yeah, and Heavy Traffic and I would watch something and be like, it's crazy that this exists. Sometimes there's art where like its life and its lightning is that it even exists at all. So
Mhm.
that's frankly, as far as I'm concerned, what Fixed is. And also too, when you think about somebody like Gendy Tartakovsky and you just think about everything that he's ever done, you just kind of put everything up there and Fixed is now part of it. And it just sort of represents an area of his creativity and humor. And he's talked about it before. I mean, I never want to speak for Gendy. I've just heard him say before that some of this humor and some of these references and some of the crazy that goes on in this movie is harkens back to some like some of that sort of
A throwback to that
early,
era, right?
well, just that like that sort of like adolescent humor that he shared with certain kids that he was friends with along the way. And so anyway, my contribution to that is that and I was telling you, I think I was telling you before, like I'm very, very proud in terms of the fact that, like, when I used to watch like some of those like early Disney movies, like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and stuff like that, there was the main characters, and there was always somebody that would come in and say one or two lines, and they had like a really distinct sounding voice. It was always like a baker in the small, the
Yeah.
town or whatever. And so essentially in Fix, that's what I am. I play like maybe like four different characters and then voices in the background. And what I'm really proud of is in the beginning of the movie when all the dogs are walking down the street and they go to the dog park and they're all seeing their friends, they look off and they see this Great Dane with a cone around his neck and they walk over to him and he looks up and he starts giving kind of like a Vietnam vet, sort
Yeah,
of like
the
accounting of
stare,
what
yeah.
happened to him. And I recorded this like 3 years ago. I mean, that's the nature of these things. Like,
Yeah.
you do it, you kind of almost don't even remember what performance you gave. But because a lot of my experience has either been primal or like anime dubbing, a lot of times for me, it's like the animation's already done and I'm trying to rise to the level of the animation and help sort of complete the performance. Whereas traditionally, if you're doing like attitude dialogue animation where you're like they're recording you first, you
Yeah.
record the performance, and then when you get to see the animation, you get to see maybe how the animator was inspired by the fact that you stuttered at this point, or maybe you open your mouth wide at this point, and the
Right.
character has to do that. And I haven't had as much experience getting to see that. So that particular scene with that Great Dane, first of all, and again, I'm blanking on that. I got to be more prepared for these, but the animator that did that sequence is so incredible. And so to be able to kind of like see the choices that I made and see the choices that they made come together like that in that little moment is just so neat. And there's one part where the characters get trapped in an alleyway and they're surrounded by a bunch of alley cats. And there's this kind of like Edward G. Robinson, like, yeah, see, like alley cat that just comes in and I play that. So anyway, that's Fixed. That's what Fixed is, and you could watch it on Netflix, and it's really neat. It was a really sort of a watershed moment for me, sort of actualizing, just sitting in a theater because I went to a screening of it and seeing the character and seeing it perform and seeing that like that very much in a sort of like recording music kind of way where you make these little decisions in the studio, these little sort of private decisions that then get put onto this thing that is bigger. And
Right.
suddenly those real private decisions become prevalent to anybody who observes it.
Anyone can view it. Anyone
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, and so
That's
it's and
cool.
I love that, and so I've been doing voiceover for a long time, but I feel like, there's certain milestones that I'm getting to have now after all this time, and Fixed is certainly one of them.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's really cool. And we're all going to check that out. Sometimes I love dumb little sophomoric blue humor.
Well, it just exists. It
Yeah.
just exists. I mean, that's all there is to it. It exists, and it's part of the history of what Gendy Tartakovsky has given everyone. and continues to give everyone. It occupies a certain corner of his creative output. And again, we'll talk about like personal decisions and then them being strung together into something that's very public for people to just kind of take in and be affected by. And so, I mean, I'm really trying to intellectualize it. You'll see the movie and you'll be like, holy
Yeah,
shit.
intellectual.
I mean,
it's like hearing Seth Rogen trying to intellectualize Sausage Party.
well, I mean, but it's also
but
too,
yeah.
talk about Sausage Party. People came out and people were either like, I loved it, or oh my God, I hated it. Critics hated it. And if you read some of the stuff they've been saying about Fixed, it's just the same thing. It's the same kind of thing.
Some things are made for certain people, and that's fine.
Yeah, but we exist in a world where we're all so steeped and involved in the creative process that you can assess things, but you're or at least my inner critic, not of myself, but of the outside world, starts to shrink a little bit once I'm involved in the creative process behind some of these things.
Oh yeah.
I don't really assess other people's result as harshly maybe that I did when I didn't have as much experience.
Also, you can't tell Gendy anything. That dude,
and you wouldn't want to.
He's doing it. Like he's doing what he wants to do. He's an auteur animator. Like, what could you possibly what review do you think could take the wind out of that man's sails?
Yeah, they don't. When he responds to it too, it's great to just kind of see him just kind of like, just be like, oh yeah, they said that, but I did that. And it's just like, you're like, okay.
Right.
Yeah. So we're going to check that out. Now, Rocom, how's Throwlight coming along?
It's good. It feels like we've been quiet or somewhat disappeared, but we're writing a new record and it's been going really well. It's, I want to do 10 songs on this new record, and we've written well over 16. So we have a lot of picking and choosing to do. But we filmed an insane music video from the first record for a song called Monster. We had a special effects team from the movie Terrifier work on some of this stuff. It's full on this mini horror film. Our director is Matthew Hirsch, who has this incredible anthology film called If It Bleeds coming out soon. And so we've been chugging along. We just haven't been playing live shows, but we're playing this upcoming Wednesday will be September 3rd, and we're opening for a rapper named Blueprint. Blueprint is someone that I actually have done a lot of artwork and graphic design for.
Oh, cool.
And I just grew up loving his music. And so he's in town. I helped him set up this show in Costa Mesa at Wayfair. And so Throwlight will be opening that show up. So we've been hitting practices and I'm excited. Alex Pardee did this incredible artwork. Our logo is kind of this screaming skull with light beaming from its eyes. And Alex did his own rendition of that skull. And so I threw it on a t-shirt for the show. So we'll have those there too.
Oh, hell yeah. I saw you also had was it Vamp was in it as well?
Yes. Leanna is the lead in the music video. And dude, she crushes it. All the makeup they did on her was from Little Shop of Gore, who's Ryan and Selena, who worked on Terrifier. And there's a really fun thing. Dude, the budget was me, right? There's no budget. There's no record label. When we're independent, we do our own stuff. And knowing that I had these incredible practical effects people on hand, I told them, I'm like, listen, all we have is my bank account. We don't have a budget. What do you guys have laying around? I was like, what if you have something, we'll figure out a way to use it. So Ryan is panning around their studio and he comes across this rubber head with a full hole through it. And I'm like, that's my hair. The rubber head had fully my haircut. And I was like, bring that. We're going to figure something out. And essentially, it's the finale of the video. I can't wait for everyone to see it. But
I'm going to be very excited for that. And Throwlight, YouTube, yeah?
Yeah, YouTube has the full record. Anywhere you listen to music, you look up Throwlight.
We got to see the video.
THRO. Oh, for the music video, sure. Yeah, we'll have a YouTube premiere. I want to also, there's a great indie movie theater called the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. Dude, I'd love to do a premiere party. So I'll let you guys know when that happens. Hopefully we rent out the Frida and show everyone the movie. To me, it's a movie. It's totally this 13 hours, dude. One other star in the video, this girl, Chelsea, an incredible streamer on Twitch. She goes by Who Is Chelsea. She's the other lead in this. And dude, the location she got us is insane. It's it's a haunt. It's one of those, like, you have to sign a waiver because they'll really mess you up.
Oh yeah.
And it's in Buena Park. It's called the 17th Door. She's worked at this place since she was 18 years old. And so she was like, hey, how much is it to film here? And they're like, is it for you? Like, are you in this? She's like, yeah. They're like, just come film. So something that would have cost us $2,000 or something, we just got.
That's
like,
so awesome.
And the production value, dude, I can't wait till everyone sees this. Yeah, it's for a song called Monster. You can listen to the song now, but the video's for that. And I think we'll have to wait a little bit because there is some VFX we need for it that's being worked on by Jenna Sunday, an incredible VFX designer that worked on like Sandman, Swamp Thing.
Oh, so cool, man.
Worked on so much stuff. Like, she's working on our tiny music video.
Sometimes people do that. Like, that's awesome. And you guys can probably hear at least snippets of that song too at Throwlight Official. That's THROWLIGHTOFFICIAL. You can check that out. Or if you want to follow at Rocom, you can get little hints and tricks. You can also check out at Mighty Maniacs, MIGHTYMANIAX. For more access to that information, maybe you just want to buy his old toys or his new toys. Who knows? And so that's great. And of course, Rocom is at ROCOM. And that's cool as shit, man. If you guys want to follow Aaron, it's at Dooder3. That's DOODER and then the number 3. Or you can check out Emotional Support Objects Inc. on Instagram. That's EMOTIONALSUPPORTOBJECTSINC. You kidding me? You kidding me? No, nobody's kidding me here. I realized that I have eaten up a lot of you guys' time.
It's fun.
It's been great to see you guys.
Yeah, it's nice to catch up. And thanks, Jeff, for creating the opportunity. I haven't seen or talked to Aaron since we got Thai food this random night, which is great. You know,
we got to do that again, man. We got to.
Yeah. You're in the county of Oranges, right?
I am, and Aaron's made his way down here. He has some family that's out here, and so he's down here sometimes. So
we got to do a downtown Disney hang.
I was gonna say, yeah, we've been meaning to do that forever. So
let's do that.
Maybe Aaron, when you're down here, I'll scoop you up and we'll drive up there.
That'd be cool. I'd love it. I would love it.
And I'll meet you guys there, and we'll get some decidedly decent food.
Right.
Like, surprisingly,
or a theme park.
At a theme park, you're like, wow, this is great. Aaron LaPlante and Rocom, thank you guys so much for joining me. Everybody, go follow them on all the things.
Thanks, Jeff. We love you.
Say goodbye to all the pigs. Listen, no, like shock jock. Say goodbye to all the pigs listening. I wouldn't. You guys are great. Have a good night. Bye. Say goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.
There we go. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Folks, we had fun, didn't we? I'd like to shout out each and every one of my guests for being so incredible, and each and every one of my listeners and producers for showing up and doing what's right. And what's right is making sure I have a job. There's other things that are right too, but right now let's get to the important stuff. And again, please follow all of the amazing guests that we've had. Follow Afua Richardson, Tara Nicole Whitaker, Chris Uminga, Joseph Dragunas, Aaron LaPlante, and Rocom. Definitely give them your love because they deserve it. They're all hardworking, brilliant people who deserve all of the wonderful things, and especially being good friends. Thank you all so much. I'll see you on the next one. Love you. Bye. Hey everyone, our artwork is created by Justin T. Brown, who can be found at Artness by Justin Brown on Instagram, as well as artnessbyjustinbrown.com. That dope music you heard is by Troy Nababon, available at Troy Nababon on Instagram, as well as at Troy Nababon.